Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? We back. Sorry but not sorry. Boxing Talk Roundtable, episode 5, man. Full in effect, man. Yeah, man. Definitely here to talk this boxing today on this beautiful Sunday evening. Sunday afternoon for some of you other folks in different areas, but Sunday evening up here in Cincinnati, Ohio on this Sunday for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna wait for some people to get up in here for sure. We're gonna turn up, man. We got a lot of topics to cover, and it's open panel, man. Yeah, I mean, whoever want to pop on and talk this boxing today, you know what I'm saying? The floor is open to come up and talk some boxing with your boy Cam J today. Yeah, I mean, and we can talk about a lot of these topics that I got going on for this Sunday. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Let me do something real quick. Let me share it to some of my peoples. We gonna get this cracking. Let me pin this to the chat real quick and hit the like button when you come in here. You know what I mean? Got that pin to the top. Let me share this to my guys over here in the group chat. To my fellas. You know what I'm saying? Let me add that real quick. Let's. All right. Let me do something to the community real quick. Jack Queen, the link up there too, sis. You want to chop it up. You know what I mean? We gonna cook up for sure. We gonna cook it up. Yeah, I got the link pinned to the chat. You via me. And all right, so I can go ahead and chop it up about something. So, all right, man. Last night we had Truck Simpson versus Jahai Tucker last night, man. That was a crazy fight. Good little scrap last night for sure. That was the best scrap on the top ranked card for Vito Miller. Okay, you already know. All right, for sure, sis. You already know. You already know. Yeah, so good little scrap last night between Lorenzo Simpson and Jahai Tucker last night on top rank last night. I definitely enjoyed watching it last night. Um Jahai Tucker, he seemed like he controlled the pace, especially with his little awkward style. I thought his style was awkward. I've been hearing some people thinking that his style ain't that much awkward for real, but I thought his style was a little awkward last night. It was crazy. You know what I mean? But other than that, um on Jahai Tucker, man, he did his big one last night. You know what I'm saying? He did enough work to get the dub last night. I thought you know, I thought Jahai Tucker won clear to me. I know it was close. I know some other fans feeling like it was a close fight or it could have been a draw. But I had Jahai by a couple rounds in that fight for real, two or three in that fight. You know what I mean? Just Lorenzo Simpson. One thing about him, he wasn't able to one thing about Lorenzo Simpson last night was let's do this. Hold on. That's what I think we need to do. Yeah, one thing about Lorenzo Simpson is Lorenzo Simpson, he like he was trying to shoot with a lot of one shots last night. And McQueen, salute my brother, man. Salute, man. Hey, the StreamYard, I got the link pinned to the top of the chat. If anybody want to join and talk this boxing today, I got several topics we can talk about and chop it up, have good dialogue and conversation today, man, for sure. You know what I mean? I know people gonna pull up and it's gonna be lit. But yeah, with Jahad Simpson, man, Jahad Tucker, man, I felt like he controlled the pace of the fight. And one thing about Lorenzo Simpson, he kept trying to just shoot one shot. He didn't want to shoot multiple combinations. You know what I mean? So that made it very difficult for him to perform. And getting in them later rounds, Jahad Tucker just looked like he had the more stamina to get through the fight and win the fight last night, man. And good fight from both guys. Jahad Tucker definitely did his thing last night. He won. He gets to move on. We don't know where, Lorenzo Chuck Simpson, we don't know where he gonna go after this. I mean, this was a key fight for him to win. He really needed to win this fight, to try to push up to that next level. But having this fight like here last night, which is I think that was his third loss in his professional career, it's kind of tough to see where he gonna go from here. He's still young though, still very young, so he still got a lot of time. You know what I mean? And can't hang his head off of one loss. You know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing, get back in there. You know what I'm saying? Get you an opponent and get you a dub in this next fight and try to go on a straight run. You feel me? You know what I mean? Hey, anybody want to chop it up, man? The link is pinned to the top, man. If y'all want to chop it up, man, for sure. You know what I mean? And make sure y'all hit the like button coming in. Hit the like button, support the grind. You know what I'm saying? We working over here, you know what I mean? Um, Good fight though from both of them guys last night. And Vito Milenicki ain't really too much to talk about on his fight last night. He pitched a shutout pretty much. You know what I mean? I know he's up there in that 160 division, but I don't really see Vito Milenicki being like a main player up there in that division for real. Like I don't see his game elevating to the next level to beat some of those next level tier guys. You know what I mean? So I'm not really high on Vito Milnicki for real, but it is interesting to see where he goes and stuff. You know what I mean? Top rank, they're definitely pushing him. Obviously giving him a main event last night in New Jersey. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with Vito up next, man, for sure, man. And we go to my next topic, man. That was just a little recap of the fights. Wasn't too much really last night. Oh, Rashidi Ellis had a fight last night too. Rashidi Ellis had a fight last night. He caught a third round knockout. Crazy, crazy body shot, man. Floored the man. Like he knocked him down early in the third round, and then what I'm saying, he ended up finishing the job, what I'm saying, a little bit after that knockdown, you know what I mean, with another body shot. He knocked him down first with a body shot, then he, what I'm saying, finished him with another body shot, you know what I mean? So Jad Queen talking about leave white magic alone. I left him alone since I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that kid, man. I don't know. Top rank promoting Vito, but I don't know if he one of them, man. He don't look like he one of them to me. But yeah, Rashidi Ellis last night, third round, knockout, by body shot last night in his fight. I'm hearing some little smoke around him with Brian Norman a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna leave the Brian Norman topic for the later half of the show today for sure. But Rashidi Ellis might be a possible opponent for Brian Norman Jr., man. So, what I'm saying? We're gonna stay close to that. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk more about that later on in the show for sure. And all right, man, it's Deontay Wilder fight week, man. It's Deontay Wilder fight week, man. He fighting Tyrell Herndon this upcoming Friday night on Black Palm. I'm still iffy on the Black Prime shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still iffy on the Black Prime. I ain't too confident on the Black Prime. You know what I mean? But he's fighting Deontay Wilder. He's back in the ring. He'll be fighting on Black Prime against Tyrell Herndon. And yeah, I did watch this. Sis. I had to clip up that part where it got chippy between Canelo and Bud. Man, I had to post it on my on my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter just now. Man, that shit was crazy. It got a little chippy. I don't know. We gonna talk about it. It look a little WWE-ish to me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Bo Mac acting a little bit dramatic. Yeah, it got chippy at the Canelo versus Bud Crawford presser today in NYC. And Canelo pushed Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford started charging at him, and then Bo Mac he going at Canelo peoples, and there you got Dana White in the middle, and these security guards and all of that shit trying to break the shit up and everything. Like, yeah, it got crazy. It got crazy. But I don't know. It looked a little, the push wasn't too convincing to me. I think Canelo got salty a little bit because Bud Crawford got up into Canelo's face and got into his space. You know what I mean? And Canelo, like, damn, you this close. Like, shit, get back. Pushed him. And, that boy Bud, being that killer from Omaha, man, he going at him. To me, it looks things like sis JB Jad Queen Bison said just now, man. Like, I don't know about that one, man. Like, I don't know. It looked very WWE-ish to me. I gotta be honest. Definitely looked very, very WWE-ish to me between Canelo versus Bud Crawford on, the whole pushing and back and forth that they just had at the NYC presser, their second presser for this upcoming fight for September 13th, man. Yeah, I mean, but quickly back to Deontay Wilder though, far as Deontay Wilder versus Tyrell Herndon this next Friday. Um, Deontay Wilder's been doing several interviews recently this week, man. Several interviews has dropped with Deontay Wilder. And I know one thing. A guy asked him in one of the interviews the other day, about his next fight, and asked him about Anthony Joshua. And Deontay Wilder said that yes, he still won't smoke with Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? Now, me in particular, I've been talking about this like whole dynamic amongst this fight between these two guys happening for so long, for some odd years now, that has never happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't gave up on this fight for real, to be honest. Like, I literally have gave up on the Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua fight, especially after this past, year where they ended up setting Deontay Wilder to fight he fought Zane, and then they was hoping, Zane, Deontay Wilder get past Zane, and they had Doobie, what's good, my brother, man, what's good, bro? Hey, link up top, man, if you want to come up and chop it up, man, on StreamYard, man, up top, it's pinned to the top, brother. Salute to my brother Doobie, man. Everybody go make sure y'all subscribe to my brother Doobie the Don, you know what I mean, and follow him on all social platforms, man. He doing some great content over there, you know what I mean. So yeah, man. With Deontay Wilder, he's saying that pretty much that he wants the rematch with not the rematch. He wants to fight with Anthony Joshua, and of course, I was kind of talking to my boy Bean from Ring Walk Boxing Podcast about this fight recently, where I was saying like I'm very not hopeful for this fight anymore because of course, they had situations last year where if they would have got through their fights, they would have been able to meet up, and they gave Deontay Wilder a harder fight compared to you know my boy, Anthony Joshua. The Box Story and salute. Hey, everybody, make sure y'all go subscribe to the Box Story channel, man. He does amazing content on the history of boxing, man, throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the week. So make sure y'all subscribe to my guy. CAS Sports, the box historian, man. He does amazing content over there on his channel, man, on boxing for sure, man. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you, man. I definitely be tapping in. I may not chop it up too much, but I'll be watching and I'll just be soaking up the game from you, man, on your channel, man, for sure, man. Salute to you, brother, for sure. Yeah, man. So yeah, with Deontay Wilder, um, I just know I'm just not hopeful for this fight. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Frank Smith, the CEO of Matchroom Boxing, he had an interview yesterday where he came out and said that AJ versus Wilder fight isn't out of reach. It can possibly happen. But one thing that caught my eye about what he said amongst his interview was the fact that he said that AJ's in a position to where he can do whatever he wants. In reality, I'll be honest, I agree. I agree. AJ is in a position where he can do what he wants for sure. You know what I mean? He's in fault. A lot majority of all the guys, and in the heavyweight division, besides Fury and Deontay Wilder. That's the only problem. And he knows Frank Smith as well was speaking about the possibility of Fury versus AJ, basically saying that they're still hopeful for Fury to come out of retirement to possibly fight AJ in a big fight, which is I'm just like I wouldn't be hoping for that. You know what I'm saying? Fury doing what he do, and it is what it is. I wouldn't be waiting for Fury. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Wilder gets through his fight this next Friday, then I feel like AJ should go after that fight with Wilder. Like, this is the time to make it happen. Both of these guys that took losses in their careers. You know what I mean? They're both on the back end of their career. They both had amazing careers. And, for a big money fight right now where, AJ's available. I know he just had an elbow, surgery and everything, and he healing that up and stuff. And he's been traveling and chilling with family and friends and everything, enjoying his fruits of his labor. Amazing, should do so for sure. But next fight, we want to see you in that ring with Wilder if you available, and if Wilder gets through his next fight with Hernan this next Friday. You know what I mean? Like it's time to make it happen. It's time to make it happen for sure, man. Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, most definitely, brother. Yeah, man, and Wilder, I definitely salute him. Of course, he said he had some issues in the past. Had to cut some people off and everything that was in his camp and around him and everything. And guys, been giving him more peace in his life. You know what I mean? And he's feeling like he's very at peace right now, and he has his mental right to go out and compete at a high level. Now, skill wise, we don't know, man. Wilder is skill wise. I'm still. Is Malik still his trainer? Because that's a big situation right there too. Because I feel like Wilder should have been made a move from Malik. Malik is not the trainer for Wilder. He has not got better with Malik. He's got worse with Malik. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like Deontay should have definitely made a move on a new trainer years ago. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Once he started losing and being with Malik and that ain't working, you need to make a move and figure something else out because that's just not the situation to go if you're gonna keep losing and you're not improving. You know what I'm saying? Stylistic wise, people's taking away, your right hand, your powerful right hand that you've always made millions off of and won, plenty of fights off of, and put a lot of guys in the dirt off of, and everybody's taking away that right hand, and Parker and Zane, they didn't punish you in their last two fights, man. So I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan. I'm definitely hopeful for him to get back on a winning streak, with this next fight, this next Friday on Black Prom versus Tyrell Herndon. I hope he wins, and we'll see what happens, man. And I'm really hopeful that AJ, look at the fight and be like, okay, let's go ahead and make this fight, you know what I'm saying, happen. You know what I'm saying? Better late than never. That's what I can say for as Wilder versus AJ. Better late than never. You know what I mean? Yes, I do wish that fight with AJ and Wilder was in their prime when they both had the titles and they was both on a crazy run and stuff at that time. It didn't happen. It is what it is. We can't cry over spilled milk. I'm just saying in particular for now, AJ, he don't have an opponent for his next fight right now. He's getting his elbow together and everything. Wilder got a fight coming up. Frank Smith, he said the fight can possibly go down. Hey man, I don't know, man. I love to see the fight happen, man. If they can make it happen still, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And McQueen, my brother, he said, love the bronze bomber. His recent missteps appear to be more temperamental than anything. Absolutely. I agree 100%, bro. For sure, man. For sure. I think definitely he just skill wise, it just hasn't elevated since the Fury fight. Yeah, he did get the crazy knockout against the one dude Hellenius. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, he lost to Parker and he lost to Zhang in both of them fights. And Parker just pretty much outboxed him pretty much in that fight, and then Zhang just punished him. You know what I mean? Even though I thought Wilder fought a little bit good the first couple of rounds in that fight with Zhang, but then he got defense unresponsible, and Zhang, punished him and definitely stopped him after that, man. And it was just nasty work to see that from Wilder, especially being a fan and trying to have a little bit of hope in him, man. But you know what I'm saying? Realistically, as a fan, sometimes you got to come to terms and know that, hey, man, his time may not, be here, as much as in the past, man. So that's just the reality of it for real, man. For sure, bro. For sure. And it bring me into the next topic, man. So, all right, Shakur Stevenson, man. Shakur Stevenson, of course, he has his fight coming up versus William Zepeda, July 12th in New York. And of course, now, the promo is starting to ramp up a little bit for this fight, even though it's been lackluster, I can say for real. They had one press conference for this fight in particular, and Williams Zepeda, he don't speak English, so he's not doing many interviews. Shakur, I just seen one interview from him this morning, which is we're gonna talk about the interview a little briefly right now while we're talking about this topic in general. But Shakur, of course, he tweeted out the other day, man. He tweeted out speaking about Zepeda. He was saying, Zepeda, don't start backtracking now. Fuck. July 12th, right around the corner. Stand on everything y'all said about me. And Williams Zepeda, remember all that bullshit you said, how you stopping me. Let's see how you do that, motherfucker. Okay. And then he goes on and says, 135-pound king, pound July 12th. And then it was funny. This guy on Twitter responds to Shakur. He says, to be the king, you have to beat the king, and that is Tank Davis. and Shakur never responded to that guy. But yeah, to Shakur, he's getting a little bit active, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been a little bit away from social media. He ain't really talked much the last couple of weeks. He's been putting in the work, training and everything, getting ready for the fight with Zepeda and everything. Salute to Shakur. And of course, man, um Shakur, he had an interview today. Well, it dropped this morning or last night. He had an interview with this guy Brian Mazik. I think Brian Mazik, I seen him on Fight Hype before, but had an interview with Brian Mazik and was saying that in the fight with Zepeda, he know with Zepeda's style he's going to have to fight him, meaning that he's going to have to stand in there and bang with him at certain points of the fight. So he know he has to fight this guy with his style for sure. And and he was saying that he don't think Zepeda has the power, that a lot of people speaks about, far as, knocking him out. And he definitely want to see Zepeda try to knock him out in this fight and everything. And he said he's going to fight his fight, but at the same time, he does realize he has to fight Zepeda, be in the pocket, make him miss, make him pay in this fight. So definitely interested in that for sure. As far as Shakur and Williams Cepeda. One thing about the interview too, in particular, which we could talk about this. Dondrick, now my brother, man, was good, brother, was good, my brother. Hey, the link is pinned to the top. If anybody wanted to join on to talk this boxing, man, I got several topics we can just go by piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? You can join the pen, join the panel. You know what I mean? We can talk it up and talk this boxing, man, for sure today. So, yeah, one thing that caught my eye about this interview though. This man says, no, of course, no, Brian Mazik. Of course, they gonna ask him a question about who. They gonna ask him a question about the man Tank Davis, and he asked him about the fight with Tank Davis, and Shakur says Tank is acting like a girl, and saying that he's not willing to wait on him on the fight. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like. And this is my thing right here, my guy, man, the boxtorian right there, man. Facts. We need Tank versus Core, and we need it. We need this fight. But I don't like when these guys be talking like this. Like I don't like when these guys be talking. What's good, brother?
What's good, brother?
What's good? You finally on? Yeah,
I
what's good?
finally made it, my
Yeah.
man. How you living?
For sure, man. I'm feeling good, bro. I'm feeling good, brother. Yeah,
All
man.
praises
So,
due.
Marshawn West, salute to you. Salute to you, sister. Salute to you, man. Always a pleasure you being up here with us, Marshawn, for sure. Yeah, so Shakur, he says, Tank acting like a girl and he's not willing to wait on him. But this is my take on this when he says this. My thing is, Shakur, you say that you're not willing to wait on him, but last year when it was preliminary talks, you ran off and you didn't even try to wait a week. Like you ran off and just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to Matchroom. I'm fighting Joe Cordina. That's where I'm going. Fuck Tank, and we'll try it another time." It's like almost in a sense to where like in reality, which I spoke about this several times in the past with Shakur, it felt like his team wanted to build his profile and try to build his profile for the fight and try to build it to the level to where he has more leverage in negotiations with in a fight with Tank Davis. And you see him in conversations saying that, oh, Tank need to hit me up and we just have a conversation and shit like that. Tank's not on that type of time. And you ain't no damn Bud Crawford. You're not. You're not a Bud Crawford. Tank's not Earl Spence. Tank's not about to give the farm and the house for you. You know what I mean? And plus, your value is just as much as some of the other guys that he done fought already. You don't have a high value for real. You know what I mean? You ain't never been on a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? You fighting on fucking undercards right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even
Mm,
main event in New York. You ain't even main event over Hands of Shiraz in Belanga. So, like, what are we talking about here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to build some of that same type of leverage that Devin Haney was trying to do with the Ryan Garcia situation. Similar to that, pretty much. You know what I mean? And we see how that shit worked out. That shit didn't work out. So
mm,
like, and we see where his value is right now currently, and his value ain't that high, honestly, right now. You feel me? So
mm,
with Shakur, you know what I mean, per se, Shakur, just handle your business, bro. And this fight in particular, this is your last fight on the deal, apparently, for us with Matchroom Boxing. You're gonna be a free agent again. So you got a possible chance to go straight to the table and sit with Tank and try to make a fight happen. And, you know what I mean? So it's like this is your time. You have another chance to be a free agent and be able to go to the table and talk with Tank and Al and them over there and try to make a fight happen instead of just saying, "Oh, Tank, I want to fight." Well, you got to put some action behind the words. You know what I'm saying? Your actions show that you don't want to fight for real. Tank then tried to reach out to you. You admitted that they reached out to you. Your team did. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, Shakur, handle your business against the pater. You a free agent. Let's get back to the table and let's try to make this fight happen. Because if Tank handles his business against Roach, then y'all both available. It's perfect time and to try to make this fight happen for at least top of 2026 to start the year off. What you think?
Man, Tank ain't finna fight no Shakur, man. I'ma just be real, bro. It's the same thing with Lomachenko. You get tired of chasing a nigga. Oh, hey, do I gotta watch my
You
lingo? Do I gotta
good? You
watch
can
my
talk.
lingo?
You good? You
All
good?
right, cool. Niggas
Chasing
get
them?
tired. You get niggas get tired of chasing niggas, man. Like, come on, man. Like, we know the fight that the fans been wanting to see, and you ain't so far past. You ain't so far. Like, Shakur has a better resume than Tank. If we being
You what?
reals, yes, yes, yes,
You
yes,
high right now.
yes. He does. He
You
does.
that
He
damn show ain't
does.
true. We done
He
cut that
does.
topic
He
off
d-
in
he
plenty of
does. He
time.
he does.
He
He
do
does.
not. He do
He
not no
does, bro.
better resume than no damn Tank. That is
Brody,
outlandish, bro.
Robson
He doesn't, bro.
Conceição and Oscar Valdez, bro. I will take them wins over Jose Pedraza. I'll
Oscar
take them win.
Valdez. What is any of those fighters that Shakur like? You know what his biggest wins? What's his biggest wins? You want to say
Probably,
Valdez, Herring,
I'll probably say Valdez,
Conceição.
Valdez, Valdez, Oscar Valdez. That's his biggest win.
Okay, and you talking about Oscar Valdez, a guy that got smashed by Navarrete
It
twice, pretty
happens.
much.
That was
And
after the
on top
fact.
of that,
That was after the
Navarrete's the
fact.
same guy. I don't even do the triangle theory shit for real necessarily. I'm just saying
It's all
Navarrete's
good.
the same guy that literally got his ass whooped by Berinchek. And we seen
Yeah,
what happened to Berinchek.
yeah, we
Berinchek was
see.
green as hell. He wasn't that good.
That's a
So I'm just
fact.
saying, like, you know what I'm saying? When you go down to it like that, Oscar Valdez, yeah, good fighter, but he was never elite at one point at all. Him or
I
Jerron
mean,
Herring.
he was a champion, dog, and up until that point, his best win
But
was
this is the
against a dude.
thing, I'm gonna tell you though, just because you a champion don't make you elite or make
But
you
what?
a live ass fighter though.
But you can't say he ain't no live ass fighter when his best win was a fight that he wasn't even a favorite going into that fight,
You know,
and that
but
was
hold on, I want you to understand. You notice that we talking about what Shakur did at 126 and 130, and we ain't talking about
yeah.
the fights at 135.
Because he ain't got too many good wins at 135. I ain't about to say I'm not about to sit here and cap like Shakur has this impeccable resume neither, because he don't. But the difference is he chasing a lot of these niggas. He's chasing Haney. He chased Lomachenko. He chasing Tank still. You dig? So
I
it ain't
don't
like
think
he
he
don't want that.
necessarily chased the Haney fight for real. I mean, and this one
Oh,
thing
he
I can
did.
say, I'm gonna tell you this about that situation with Shakur and Devin. That situation for real, it wasn't even more so on Shakur for real. The Bob Arum's on record saying that it was no offer from Devin to Shakur around that time. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So
That's a fact.
Devin and them, they was pushing the narrative that they sent them an offer and which it wasn't true. But
Hmm.
the whole percentage situation, I was defending Shakur on that shit. Like, yeah, I feel like Shakur value is just as much as Devin for real. To where if
Hmm.
he want to go to the WBC and try to get some little extra bread, that's on him. You know what I mean? I feel
Hmm.
it was well within the rule for him to do so, and he was trying to do
Definitely.
so. But Devin, he ended up giving up the belts and went and going up there to 140. You know what I mean? So that
Hmm.
was the thing about that. But the whole thing with Shakur though, he on he showed this the thing Shakur does, but the action don't show enough. It don't show enough that he wants these fights.
How you figure
I'm just
that
saying,
though?
don't show it, bro. Like
How you figure that?
you can't tell me that if Tank and them they reach out to you about fighting after Lomachenko ends up, declining the fight and end up not wanting to fight last year. You can't, and this guy Shakur's on record saying, I'm a free agent. I'm free to do what I want. I want to fight Tank. That's the biggest fight in boxing and everything. You can't tell me if Tank and them reach out to you, you sure away from the preliminary talks and you go over there to sign a multi-fight deal with Matchroom to fight Joe Cordina, a guy
Is
that's a 130 pounder that you moving up to 135 that just come off a
is
knockout
game.
loss.
Is
You
game,
can't
loved
tell
one.
me that, bro.
Is game, loved one. He running
You
game.
can't tell
He
me
running
that, bro.
game. Man, Tank ain't even, bro. Tank ain't even fighting another 135 pounders, bro. He just pulled up a nigga and arguably lost to a nigga
A
from 130.
champion. He pulled up a
But
champion at
you
130.
can't get Brody. We can't.
A guy
Canelo
like
pulled up a
Lamont Roach,
champion from
the
154
same guy Lamont Roach that fought several times at
mm-mm,
135 before. You know
we
what I
can't
mean?
do that. We
And
can't do that.
and
We can't
claims
do that.
and says that
No.
he's the actual bigger fighter than
Mm-mm.
Tank.
We can't do that.
He's
We
the
can't
actual
do that.
bigger fighter than Tank.
It's too deep of a division for you to be reaching down to pull up a nigga. And this is about the second or third nigga you done
Okay,
pulled up in about four or
so
5
it's
years, bro.
okay for Shakur to pull up a Joe Cordina from
No, it
130 that's
isn't.
coming off a
It isn't. Who was
knockout
off a
loss, but
knockout
it ain't
loss? No,
okay
it
for
wasn't.
Tank to pull up
It
Lamont
wasn't.
Roach, a
It
champion
wasn't.
at
It
130
wasn't.
that's
It
coming off
wasn't.
a win.
It's not cool
You
for
know,
Tank. It ain't
your
cool for
logic ain't making
Canelo.
sense in that matter,
It,
bro.
it ain't it ain't cool for Tank. It ain't cool for Canelo. It ain't cool for Shakur. It ain't cool for nobody. The division is too lush for you to be reaching down
But
to pull a nigga up.
people move people up. If you're a champion in a division, a lot of the champions go up and face for titles up in the next division all the time. Devin Haney
Oh
did it. Devin
man,
Haney dropped the belts at 135. He
that's a
moved up to
difference.
140 and he
That's
went
a
up to fight
difference.
Regis Prograde.
That's a
You know what I'm
different
saying?
ball
Like it
game. He
happens
was
in
leaving.
several
He
cases in that
ascended. He
case.
didn't get pulled up. He ascended. He didn't get pulled up.
But I
That's the
don't. Hey, I
difference.
don't mind. But you're not understanding. I'm saying a lot of champions moves up and fight for automatic titles, automatic all the time. It's been happening for 100 some years. So
Absolutely,
this
but
ain't nothing new. This ain't
man,
nothing
but
new.
we
I
don't.
now
We
I,
can't put.
this the difference is I rather if you're gonna bring up somebody like Tank did, where you bringing up a Lamont Roach, that's a champion, that's a
Mm,
viable opponent,
mm,
rather than bringing
mm,
up like
mm.
Shakur, where he was gonna bring up Joe Cordina coming off a knockout loss at 130 at
Fam, I'm gonna tell you.
135.
I'm gonna tell you
You
why
see
that's
the
so Dutch.
difference in that?
I'm
You
gonna
gotta
tell you
read
why.
the room in this, brother.
Mm-mm, mm,
You come over here,
I'm
go
the
get some more logic
no
over
no
here,
no
man.
no no
Let's see if
no.
we got logic over
I'm gonna
here.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you why it was such a detrimental choice for him to pull up a 130 pounder because you should have went in there and outlined that nigga in chalk. Ain't no reason why we should be having discussions on whether you lost the fight or not to a fucking super
We
featherweight.
talking, boy, you gotta
That shit
understand,
is
a lot
unacceptable.
of
And
them
but the
they
thing
done
is,
fought each
you
other for
supposed to be a
years.
tank. You supposed to be the tank. You supposed to be better than bro. I done heard niggas say that this dude is better than Roberto Duran,
Right?
Manny
This the
Pacquiao.
thing. This my
That's the allure around this
hold on.
dude.
This my thing.
Go
This
ahead,
my
go ahead,
thing.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
all the standards is on Tank. Y'all don't put these standards for these other fighters though. You understand
Like,
that?
what you mean? What you mean?
Y'all don't have the same standards for these other guys.
Like who?
The same standards that y'all put on Tank Davis, y'all don't put those same standards on these other fighters.
Like what? Like what? Like what
When
fighters
other
you talking
fighters
about?
pull guys up, y'all don't give that same flack.
Absolutely, you got. I do. I wasn't a fan. Man, listen, I'm the biggest Canelo fan. I was like that fight with Charlo was trash. The division is too deep for you to be pulling up dudes, my nigga. Like, not unless that fighter has the intention on moving up and staying in that division and campaigning. There's no reason for you to pull him up. I can't fuck with that. I can't fuck with that. Now you can go over there and give a good account of yourself. Definitely, that's what's up. Salute to you if you do that. But you shouldn't be pulling up no 130 pounder as you a 135 pounder in that division
It's
is
only
deep with all
fucking
them
5 pounds.
champions.
I got more of a problem with Canelo pulling Bud
That
up three
that
weight classes.
that
So like
matters, man. That
that's a
five
more
pounds
difficult
matters.
situation.
That
You know what I'm
five
saying?
pounds
Now,
matters.
if you pulling up somebody, if it's somebody that's a champion coming up from another class and he coming off a win and shit, that's reasonable. But if you pulling up a guy that's coming off a loss, that's not reasonable. That's not.
It
That's
isn't.
what Shakur did.
I know
That's what he
that.
was about to do.
It wasn't just a loss. It was a knockout loss.
On
It
top
was
of
a
that, that's
knockout
even
loss. That
worse.
was bad. That was bad.
And then look at Shakur's resume, even at 135, because that's what I like to talk about on Shakur. Look who he fought at 135. Yoshino. We ain't even heard from him ever
We
since.
haven't. Like I
You know what I
said,
mean? Fought
Shakur
Edwin
ain't
De
got the
Los
best resume at
Santos.
135.
Edwin
Tank
De
ain't
Los
got.
Santos. Shit show fight.
That was a
One of his
horrible
worst
fight.
fights of his career. He ran
It
around
was
the
a.
ring the whole night. He was scared.
He won the
Then
fight though, but his hand was broke. His hand was broke. His hand was
Okay,
broke
we
as
give
well.
him the hand broke shit
His
and
hand was
everything. You
broke. We
want to
can
give
give him
him
that.
that.
It was just
You
that
want to
don't
give
take
him
away the
that.
fact that it was a horrible
I
fight.
mean, shit. His pops is on record saying that his hand's been hurt his last 7 fights. So
Who said
shit.
that? Who said that?
Wally Moses, his grandfather, his grandfather is on record saying that his hands has been hurt the last 7 fights of his. So
Hmm.
his hands always been hurt. So that ain't even
Shit,
no big
I
deal.
mean,
You seen
man,
him in the
the
fight.
pain progresses. That you know what I'm saying? It progresses. Like, yo, all right, this shit is getting too unbearable. It happens. It be like
Then
that.
look at it. He at the auto fight. He had the chance to step on the gas and stop him. Couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Had
He's not a puncher.
a mild fight in that. And then fights
He's not a
the
puncher.
electrician Josh Padley, bro. out for 2 days from Josh Padley coming off the damn pole fixing somebody's
Mm-hmm.
electricity and shit up there in the UK and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
It.
You
I
seen the
mean.
man? You seen the man when he was punching Josh Padley when he was up there? He was shaking his
Mm-hmm.
hands and shit.
Mm-hmm. He's not a puncher. I mean, man,
I just named 4 fights of his, and at least the only significant name out of the 4 fights of his was
Edwin
Edwin
De
De
Los
Los
Santos.
Santos, which
Yeah.
was his worst performance out of the 4 fights. And
Yeah.
we're talking about resumes.
Yeah, because you can't just say you can't relegate
You know,
resume to just one division, the division that they currently campaigning in. You can't ignore Kensei Sal. You can't
I'm a
ignore
what have you
Jamel Herring.
done
You
for
can't
me lately
ignore
type of guy.
but see
I like to talk
do
about
that
what
though.
Shakur has done
You
at
you
135.
you
I
can't,
don't give a fuck about what Shakur did
but
at
you can't
126,
do that
130
because
now.
what
He's
Tank has
four
done for
fights
us
in at
lately is for
135, brother. He's
but what
four
Tank has
fights in
done
at
for what
135. Why
what
are we still
but
talking about Shakur at
but
126, 130? He ain't even the same fighter.
what Tank has done for us lately is pull up a 130 pounder and arguably lose. So I can't go off of I won't I can't stand Tank. Talented fighter, but I'm not a Tank fan. But he's a
We know.
talented fighter. But but I don't I,
I just see your
I don't
post
do
on
the what have
Facebook.
you
I see what you be
because
doing over there,
I'll be
man.
talking my shit. I
Yeah, I
don't
see you
I
over
won't
there.
I won't relegate him to just fighting fuck I just Lamont Roach. I personally like the just the not Keyshawn Davis but the Frank Martin fight. I thought that was a good win for him. Even though Frank Martin wasn't battle tested, he wasn't no champ. He had never been in no championship bout until he fought Tank that night. I still think
And
that was a
Josh
good win
Padley
because
was battle tested.
no, he absolutely wasn't.
Was Artem battle tested?
Arden been in there with Frank Martin.
Frank
He
Martin,
was
yeah, they got
he was
a familiar foe. Okay,
that's a familiar foe.
Was
But
Yoshino
even then,
battle tested?
but even then, like I said, Frank Martin wasn't battle tested until he fought Tank. What I'm saying is, at
What
135
was
pounds,
Yoshino battle tested?
no, no, these dudes is relative. I don't like saying
We just
nobody's.
named 3 guys just now that
I
off of
feel
his
that,
resume that ain't battle tested.
but not at 35. You can't ignore 30. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore at 26.
This is a what have you done for me lately business
It's
though,
not
brother.
though. It
It
is, but it ain't.
is.
It is,
It
but it ain't.
is. You
It's
can't
a
sit
little
there
bit
and
of
stand
both.
upon what Shakur beating up Joet Gonzalez. You know what I mean?
I
Like
can ponder on
nobody
him.
don't give a fuck about that no
I can
more.
ponder on him beating Conseil Sal, and I can ponder on him beating Oscar Valdez. Those were two real good wins. Even Jamel Herring,
And those wins has aged bad for him.
Robson Conseil Sal.
Yes,
No,
he just
not at
lost to
all.
Foster.
But he beat Foster before that.
Yeah, in a janky ass fight it was arguably Foster winning that fight. He got robbed in that fight, and
I
everybody that
mean,
watched
but
that
it
fight,
was it
he
was
got
close.
robbed.
It was close enough to
It
where
was
it
a
was
close fight
competitive.
though. It was a close
So
fight.
that's what I'm saying. Competitive fights. Competitive fights it's not always it's not always a robbery or nothing like that. You feel me? So like I said, man, Tank has the better. He
That
has the
one
better.
was in that case. But I'm just looking at Shakur. That's the thing. You got to look at the guys what they done in recent timing, man. And in recent timing, Shakur ain't been doing much work up there at 135, man. He ain't
Neither
been
has
putting that
Tank.
pain in at 135. And this fight was
Neither
the
has
pay to
Tank.
this is the fight. What you mean? Tank been holding
Neither
it
has Tank.
down the whole damn time.
How when you
How
pulling up multiple 130
how
pounders?
this my question. That's your only talking point for us
It's
what he's
not though.
doing.
All right, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this,
So
man.
Ryan
What would you?
Garcia, right? This is my thing right here, bro. When you
I'm
talk
glad you
about
brought
Tank's
that up.
resume,
I'm glad
I
you brought
got
that up.
so this is my thing with resume. If Tank resume is so bad to some of you guys, why isn't why is his counterparts, his contemporaries, wanting to fight the guys that he has already fought and beat already?
Because he's the money man, dog. Like he's the money man in the division, and he's a talented fighter. I ain't saying that the dude
So
is
no, I'm
trash. I'm
saying
saying
why.
I
I'm saying why is his contemporaries wanting to fight the guys that Tank has already beat and fought already?
like who? Like Ryan?
Ryan,
Because he's a money man.
Barrios,
Because he's a money man.
Pitbull, you know what I'm
Because
saying?
he's a
Multiple
money man.
guys.
So you
Frank
got what
Martin,
when you get in the
Lamont
ring
Roach.
with
Shit, you
Tank.
got Shakur and Keyshawn. They
When
want to
you
fight Lamont Roach now.
when you get in the ring with Tank, even though I don't think Tank is this high profile superstar caliber fighter with just wild drawing power, that's not him. But in the boxing sphere, your notoriety will slightly uptick when you get in the ring with Tank because he is one of the more notable names in the sport. So yeah, but even before Tank fought Ryan, people was wanting to fight Ryan just because of his marketing and his drawing power, and he's a somebody in the sport. So that comes with the territory, man. Like I wouldn't use that as a talking point or like even when you look at the Ryan Garcia fight, the nigga put two-way stipulations on it, man. I
He
can't
only
respect
put
that.
one weight stipulation, and they had it. And then on top of that, Ryan Garcia was fighting at 135 his whole
Y'all running
fucking career,
game. Y'all running
whole
game.
career, whole
Y'all running
career.
game. Y'all
Ryan
running
Garcia was
game.
fighting at 135 his whole career. He wanted to fight
No.
at 136. Daggone Tank had to make the same weight. This my thing. Why is these guys not fighting they fucking natural weight classes?
They
Because
should.
literally, they're clearly not fighting at their natural weight classes. Shit, fucking Ryan couldn't even make 140. He fought twice at 140 and couldn't even make
Mm-hmm.
140.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm
I
saying. A
agree
lot of
with
these
that.
fighters out here right now is not fighting at their natural weight classes, bro. Like
I agree.
Rolly's on record saying that he should have never been fighting at 135. He should have been moved up. He
Mm-hmm.
said, me fighting at 147, I'm the most comfortable I've ever been for real. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was killing myself to make 135 and 140.
He's
You know what I
probably
mean? And
more
this shows
the most
that's
comfortable.
evidence to a lot of these guys. He said it himself. A lot of these other guys isn't fighting in their natural weight classes. They
I
trying to be
agree.
weight bullies.
I
You know
agree
what I
because
mean?
they don't
Tank is a
because
small
these they don't
guy,
have it
bro.
they
Like
don't
he's a
they don't
small
because
guy. He
they don't
fought Boyles at
bec-
140 one time and
bec-
went back down
bec-
because he
and I
said he
can give
wasn't comfortable at the
and I
weight.
give him credit for I give him even though it was a rehydration clause, not a rehydration clause, but a catch weight on that fight. I give him credit for that win. I do because I'm like you went up and you went to the
Shit,
you jumped
that
up and you
man
fought
Ryan
him. That's no
Garcia
different
was
from what
eating
Manny was doing. So I can
tacos.
respect
He,
that.
he was Ryan Garcia eating tacos and shit at the damn media workout. Tacos and pizza and shit.
All
The
right,
week of the fight.
let's
Come
stop because
on, like come on.
let's stop with the Ryans because I
I'm
don't
just
have
saying
a
in
high opinion
general.
of Ryan. I don't have a high opinion of Ryan Garcia, dog. I don't.
Absolutely.
I do not have a
I
high
bet you
opinion.
don't.
So I'm not. I personally rate a Frank Martin win higher than I rate a Ryan Garcia win because Frank Martin has better attributes as a fighter than a Ryan Garcia. So I don't I'm not too high up on Ryan Garcia, so I'm not about to sit here and bloviate over him, knocking out Ryan Garcia. I don't give a fuck about no Ryan Garcia, my nigga. Like, nah, man, that shit dead. So I'll take a Frank Martin over a Ryan Garcia, definitely. But even then, why are we having a conversation about Frank Martin arguably being a top five win on your resume when you are a two division champion, dog, and you got the notoriety that you have? It's just ridiculous to me, man. I can't get jiggy with Tank.
You got too much hate in your heart
I
for Tank,
do.
man.
I
You
do. I
do,
do
man.
because you
It's
running game.
showing.
I do
You
because you
got too much
running
hate in your
game.
heart for the
It's too,
man.
bro. Why did, bro? There's no reason why Tio and Devin Haney should have got to Lomachenko before you, bro. When that man been on your ass for the past 7 years.
You
Why are we
gotta
doing this?
understand though, Top Rank wasn't trying to give him anybody from Top Rank over there. Top Rank had a whole 135-pound tournament over there, bro, that didn't even include
Mm-hmm.
Tank at all.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand that?
Let's make
That
some shit happen, man. That's what I'm.
Top Rank is the same. They love to keep a lot of shit in house.
I'm not mad at in-house fights. I'm not
I'm
mad at
not mad at
in-house
that at
fights.
all,
They
but that's
happen.
what
They
they were
happen.
doing. They
But
wasn't
but
trying to
but
look Tank way. They
but
just
it's
now been
who
open
wasn't
to
trying
try
to
to
look
make
Tank
fights.
way.
They just now been open to try to make fights with Tank over there with Top Rank with their 135-pound guy. Just now. Literally, the past few months ago.
Hey, read that super chat, loved one. Read that super chat,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Read that super chat, man.
I'm just saying in general, man.
Come on, man.
We
Who
can
are
move,
you
we can move
talking
forward.
about?
I got some more shit to talk. We can talk about, chop it up. So,
Okay,
all
well.
right. So, what you think about Alexander Usyk, man? He dumped his longtime manager a month before the rematch with Daniel Dubois, man. So, what you think about that? With Alexander Usyk dumping his manager going into his fight with Daniel Dubois a month from now.
Mm, um, man, I don't know. I just think that. this is this is it. You dig? That's what I think about it, man. He's just about to ride off into the sunset after he step on Daniel Dubois and call it a career, man. I don't know if it's any animosity. I don't think Usyk has. That just don't seem like his character to have animosity with a type of, with an individual he done been with for well over a decade. To just, I don't know what to really think of it, man. I like to think of it that, yo, man, I think this is it right here, man. After this, I'm hanging my flag up and I'm gonna enjoy retirement life, man. That's about all I can think of it, man. Because I don't.
Yeah, I think it was
That's all
definitely
I
a
think
little
of it.
strange, in my opinion, for Usyk to let go of his manager that he's been working with for so long, for sure. And worked him to get a lot of these big fights in the heavyweight division. Helped him become two-time undisputed champion and everything.
Oh
So
yeah.
definitely different in that case for sure. But I would definitely say I don't think this affects Usyk going into the rematch with the Dubois per se. I feel that you know it could be a slight issue, but I don't think this is a detrimental issue for Usyk, for as him, possibly having an effect for as him having his manager going into Dubois. You know what I'm saying? I think both of these guys is gonna have an amazing fight July 19th. And it's I always kind of edge this fight a little bit, the Usyk in the rematch, man. I just believe Usyk definitely got what it takes to win this one. A little bit 55-45, I say 55-45.
I
But
think
I
this
don't
fight gonna
think
go the
this
same way.
situation hurts Usyk in the rematch for real per se.
I think it's gonna go to. I think it's gonna go the same way, man. Daniel Dubois. I think only thing I'm really seeing from him now is more assertiveness. Him stepping in behind the jab, a hard step in behind a hard stiff jab. That's what I'm seeing. But you're not gonna be able to do that shit with no Usyk, Brody. And you're gonna have to do that in order to set up that body shot. And we know what
Facts.
the game plan is because you feel like you stopped him last time to the body, you got robbed or whatever, man. He's going to spin you the entirety of the fight. So I hope the conditioning that you're doing is mental conditioning and physical conditioning to go the whole 12 because you're gonna have to go on a hunt, and that is not an easy dude to hunt. He can be the hunter or the hunted, and in this situation, he's gonna revert back to being the hunted. And
Absolutely.
once you step in, you stepping into them jabs and just being overly assertive, it's gonna get you walked into so many backhands and spun around, and it's gonna force you to reset. And you don't got the feet to keep up with Usyk and stay in front of Usyk. You're gonna keep resetting, and that shit is gonna cause mental fatigue, and it's gonna cause physical fatigue, and that body is gonna get tapped again, and you're gonna get clipped with something big, and not even big. It's just you ain't gonna have the legs up under you to take the shot, and it's gonna down you again, and it's gonna end how it did in the last fight. Dubois ain't fucking with Usyk. He's not fucking with Usyk. He's not.
Yeah, man, I got Usyk in this one, man. I like the fight for sure. I think a lot of people they high on Dubois, man. Dubois been over there speaking about stopping Usyk in this fight and everything, and saying that they cheated in the first fight and everything. So it's been a lot of drama going into this fight between them two guys, man. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely excited for this fight July 19th. It's gonna be a good one for sure from Usyk and Dubois, man, for sure.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
another fight July 19th coming up. You got my boy Bam Rodriguez, man, in that 115-pound division, man. My dog Bam Rodriguez is tough out there. Robert Garcia, man, he had an interview with Boxing Scene, and he mentioned and saying that Bam Rodriguez has two more fights at 115, and then
Mm,
he'll be possibly moving up to 118. And of course, he's fighting Kafu July 19th up there in Texas, man.
mm.
How you feeling about that with my dog Ben Rodriguez? Two more fights at 115, then moving up, man, and he's definitely looking, to try to fight one of those guys, Nakatani or anyway, possibly if in a couple years they meet down the line if they in the same division.
I don't think he'll make it to Inoue. I think he'll get to Junto though, and I think he about
Yeah.
to fuck Kafu up. He's about to violate Kafu, man.
Oh
Kafu is
yeah, for
nice.
sure.
Kafu is nice, but I think after that, after he knocked down Kosei, I think Kosei started making those proper adjustments. I think he was just faster darting in and out of the pocket. He was landing the cleaner work, and you started to see Kafu start to fade down the stretch. And one thing, a glaring thing that I saw for him was just how often he was spamming the left hook like he was in a boxing game or something. Just spam left hook, spam left hook, spam left hook, spam left hook. You're not gonna clip no Bam Rodriguez with that. The dude is just too fast on his feet, Brody. He's too
Right.
fast on his feet, and he's gonna get to the outside of your lead hand and put that uppercut in up the middle on you, and down goes Kafu. I'm going with Bam by knockout, dog. I'm going with Bam by knockout. But I
Yeah.
would love to see him in Junto. I would love to see him in Junto.
Oh yeah,
Oh
most
my,
definitely.
oh my God, give me that. Give me
Definitely.
that.
Definitely, man. I'm a big fan of Bam Rodriguez, man. So I'm always excited to watch him fight, and I definitely believe he definitely one of those up and coming stars that can be a big star in the sport for sure. And he's building himself,
Absolutely.
and I like the way that Eddie Hearn's building him over there. You know what I mean? He's definitely had
Hmm.
him on the Boots card where he had a crazy knockout on as the co-main on the Boots card versus Karen. And
Hmm.
now he got a main event up here in Texas, and he's doing his
Hmm.
thing. He's definitely building his fan base, and a lot of people's definitely liking him and becoming a fan of Bam Rodriguez, man. So I'm definitely
Hmm.
excited to see him, July 19th as well for sure, man. And let's go to the next topic, man. Jake Paul, man. Yeah, I'm just a brief talking about him, man, because I seen this and I'm like, I want to speak on this a little bit. Jake Paul, man. Of course, he got the fight with Chavez Jr. this next Saturday, coming
Hmm.
up on the 28th, and he's looking to fight Zerto Ramirez, man, for his WBA and WBO cruiserweight titles if he beats Chavez Jr., man. So, what you think about Jake Paul possibly getting the opportunity to fight for the cruiserweight titles versus Zerto Ramirez, possibly if he beats Chavez Jr.?
That dude ain't going nowhere near no Zordo, bro. He ain't going nowhere near no Zordo. He'll go towards Badu before he holla at Zordo, man. If he gets a shot at a strap, I'm not feeling that because it's just too many. Nah, bro, that it's too many. It's Mandos that's lined up. There's too many other factors in the division that's deserving of them title shots than a fucking YouTuber. You dig? I just nah, man, nah. I'm not feeling it. But if he does decide to take that, then that shows that he's a little bit more serious about the sport. So I respect it on his behalf. I mean, him fighting Tommy Fury gets some sort of kudos or whatever because Tommy Fury did have professional experience, and for him to down him the way that he downed him, all right, cool. I can salute that. I can see the growth and even what it is that you're doing. But when you're talking about fighting Zordo, nah,
Yeah.
no, you better stay away from that dude for real, for real. You
I
better stay
want
away from.
Zerto to fight Dagon Opatai, man. They perping on that one. They Oscar, he holding back on that fight versus Opatai, man. Like Opatai definitely want to unify up, and they ain't giving Opatai that opportunity, man. I'm surprised Turkey ain't tried to make that fight happen yet. You
I
know what
think
I
he
mean?
will. I think he will. I think he will, bro, because that's the
Zerto
fight that
now, they
everybody want
running
to see.
away from that fight, man.
Can you blame him? Oh man, bro, did you not see what Opatai just did to the
Yeah,
Italian
he
dude?
nasty. He nasty. He definitely nasty, man. He
Mm,
nasty. He nasty. I'm just saying. I just want to see the fight. They need to put the fight on, man. I want to see it.
definitely, I
Like
agree. I
I
agree. I
want to
definitely
see it.
agree.
You know
Definitely.
what I mean?
Hell
And
yeah. Hell yeah.
they going to the next topic, man. So a little interesting, man. Speaking of Eddie Hearn, man. Eddie Hearn, he spoke out and said that he wants Joe Cordina to fight the winner of Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Eddie Hearn wanted Joe Cordina to fight the winner of Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. And it's wild, man. What you thinking about this proposition from Eddie Hearn right here?
Has he rebounded from the from the Anthony Karash? What's how you pronounce it? Karash?
Kakako, or some shit like that.
Yeah, has he rebounded from that knockout loss yet, Joe Cordina?
Like, I don't. He hasn't even fought since then.
Then there's nothing to talk about, bro. You why?
He hasn't even fought since then. I'm looking at. I'm like, is he even in the rank? He's not even. This man Joe Cordina's not even in the WBO rankings, bro.
So why are we
Like
doing this?
this
Eddie
man
know
Joe
he
Cordina's
know better than
in.
that.
He's in the W. He ain't even in the WBC. He was in the WBC because you remember around that time when he was about to fight Shakur, they end up putting him in the rankings. Eddie Hearn paid for Joe Cordina to get in the rankings so he can look good in the fight for Shakur. Yeah,
Hmm.
shit like that,
That
man.
same bullshit he did with Berlanga.
Yeah, the politics in this shit be nasty, man.
Yeah,
He
filthy.
ain't the only one that do it. A
Oh,
lot of
definitely,
all of the
definitely.
promoters do it. So he ain't the
They all
only
do.
one. But it
Hmm.
was just significant that he did that for us. Joe Cordina coming off a knockout loss though to fight Shakur fucking Stevenson.
Mm.
Horrific,
They was
horrific.
gonna put that old pay-per-view too, bro. Ugh, that's filthy. What the
They was
fuck is
about
y'all
to
niggas
set
doing, gang?
Shakur for failure with that
Ugh.
shit.
Mm.
But yeah, Joe Cordina fighting the winner of Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes makes absolutely no sense at all.
None.
Especially due to the fact that Joe Cordina haven't even fought since he lost his last fight by knockout. And
Ugh.
on top of that,
I'll be
hasn't
right
even
back.
had a fight at 135 pounds yet. Then on top of that, he's not even in the WBO rankings for the 135-pound division. So it makes no absolute sense for Joe Cordina to fight the winner of Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Like it makes no sense. Is you know what I mean? I don't even want to see him fight either one of them guys anyway, because I feel like both of them guys have beat Joe Cordina too, by the way. So it really serves no purpose at all. You know what I'm saying? This Eddie Hearn trying to push this guy because he got a lot of love for Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? And he just added him what like I think he just added Joe Cordina like on a 2-fight deal on Matchroom.
Mm.
They just read up on a deal with Matchroom. So man,
Mm.
I ain't jacking this one, man. You know, it ain't happening. Joe Eddie Hearn is wishful thinking right here as far as him fighting the winner, uh Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. Like he'd
That's
get killed
hustling
by either one
backwards.
of those
He
guys.
really would, bro. That's hustling backwards, bro. You don't. Abdullah Mason just stepped on Nicotila, bro. You title bound now. It's time for you to go get a strap, or fight a legitimate contender. I don't know what happened to Giovanni Cabrera. I thought they were supposed to run that. You did. If you're gonna fight somebody that's and it's not for a belt, man. Can we at least get you in there with the likes of a Tevin Farmer? 'Cause I still have a very high opinion of Tevin Farmer, man. I think homeboy is dope. I think he
What you
dope.
yeah, let me ask you that. What you think he gonna do? Because you know he fighting next week. He fighting Kid Austin on that J. Paul Chavez Jr. card. What you think Tevin Farmer gonna do in that fight next week with Kid Austin?
Man, I don't want to say it because I don't want to sound blasphemous, but I think he gonna fuck Kid Austin up, man. I just
Hey, I ain't even mad at you.
I just think Youngin is still a little green. It's still he's still a little too wide with his punches. Way too wide, actually, man. Be a little clumsy on his feet. Tevin Farmer is a sharpshooter, and for this stigmatism that was surrounding the slick Black American some years ago to denigrate Canelo, Tevin Farmer and Danny Jacobs were two names that never got mentioned. They never got mentioned. And I just thought that was a crime against humanity. How y'all not gonna mention them two niggas of all niggas while y'all talking about the slick Black American? Fuck out of here. Tevin
Yeah.
Farmer is nice, man. And for him to come off, even though he's off three consecutive losses, all of those losses, you could argue that he won. I don't think he beat Zepeda. You could argue that he beat Murataya though. And if it
Bro,
wasn't for the
yeah,
point that
yeah.
if it wasn't for the
A
point,
lot of people had that was a controversial fight right
yeah.
there.
All three of them was though in a lot of people's eyes because he rallied against Zepeda in the last fight in the
Yeah,
championship rounds.
yeah,
You
yeah.
dig?
I thought in that second fight was Zepeda for Farmer. I felt like Zepeda was just dominating the early rounds of the fight, going into the middle round, and then Tevin he turned up in the late rounds, but it wasn't it
Hmm.
wasn't enough. You already
Yeah.
was down several rounds to where like the little 3-4 rounds you got back competitive in the fight. It wasn't enough. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I mean I like Tevin in this fight per se with Kid Austin.
Hmm.
I'm not crazy high on Kid Austin personally. That's just my
Hmm.
personal opinion. I'm not
Me
a
neither.
crazy big fan of him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he green in my opinion. He some of the competition he been getting built up over there with Golden Boy being very lackluster for sure. But
Hmm.
this is a good test. For him. Hopefully he don't back out the fucking week of the
Hmm.
fight saying he's sick and shit. Cause he
Hmm.
definitely ducked Shakur Stevenson early
Oh,
this year.
definitely,
He ducked them
definitely.
and all this bullshit ass excuses. I wasn't feeling it, and I'm not a believer in anything that RT Schofield
Mama
Senior
Skull.
talk about down, man. I ain't a fan of the guy, man. He be capping. He
You
be
just
doing too much capping for me.
running your mouth, man.
But I do like now. I don't have no prediction for the fight per se because I feel like it's a 50-50 fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 50-50
Mm-hmm.
fight in my opinion.
I feel that.
What you think about it?
I can see 50-50 only because Kid Austin is fresher, but I just, man, y'all probably gonna kill me for saying this, bro, but I still think Tevin Farmer, I still think he can win a strap, bro, at 135 pounds. I genuinely believe
Really?
that, bro. That dude is nice. That
Now
dude is,
I believe he's definitely on bona fide gatekeeper timing right there.
I'm
I
not mad at
mean,
that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm definitely not mad at that, man. But I really, bro, I'm looking at a dude he's right there for you to hit him, and you're not hitting him. Only I think not Shakur, but Zepeda was hitting him so much because, bro, Zepeda, this what was that? The Hester fight. The nigga threw 600 punches in 6 rounds, dude. That is an incredible work rate. That is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous work rate right there. So yeah, you're
yeah,
gonna get in with some clean. You're gonna get in with clean shots. But it's so hard to hit this nigga. He's such an astute counterpuncher, bro. I think he's game for everybody in the division. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But just prove a nigga wrong. Just prove a nigga wrong. You did just prove a nigga wrong. That's all I'm saying. But I still have a high opinion of Tevin Farmer, bro. And I like his attitude that all right, cool, I lost, but I don't give a fuck. Like he fight next week. He talking about, hey yo, I need parts on that Canelo Crawford undercard, dog. Since you calling niggas out, you asking who want to be a part of that. I need to
right.
be on that card. I fuck with
Yeah,
Tevin,
he
dog.
trying to he's trying to stay active. Bro, I fuck with what Tevin doing. I fuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck
Mm-hmm.
with it. And he definitely gonna show that that veteran in this fight for sure. Marshawn
Mm-hmm.
West, he said Tevin Farmer is a veteran. I see the fight as a 50-45 fight for Farmer. Hey, I'm not
Mm.
mad at that, sister.
At
Not
all.
mad at that at
At
all.
all.
Not
At
mad at all.
all.
I like Tevin in the fight with Kid Austin, man. We want to see if Kid Austin really got that dog in him, and Tevin gonna bring it out of him for sure. He definitely will
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
He will. He will.
Now
He will.
we can get started, man. With all right, man. Today, of course, Canelo versus Bud, man. They had the press conference, dog. Let's go ahead and get into some of the real spicy topics in this show now, man. I
All
always
right,
save
cool.
the spicy topics, the real spicy ones for last, man, for later in the show, man. So,
Okay.
of course, you seen Canelo versus Bud. You know they had the dinner with Turkey 2 nights
Mm-hmm.
ago. That dinner looked ass, by the way. It looked horrible. I don't know. I'm like, bro, why was y'all eating up there? What y'all eating with that man? This man Bud had some dry ass spaghetti and shit. The bread looked dry as hell. Looked like it was some old ass bread that was outdated. I'm like, what they doing over there? Like, they tweaking. Like sports prediction 101. My God, was salute, my brother. Salute, man. Everybody go sub up to my brother sports prediction 101, man. He do some great content over there, man. I like when my
Definitely. I'm gonna go
dog
check
do.
him out.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. You got the dinner with Bud and Canelo. A lot of people wasn't feeling that for real.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause them having dinner together, thinking that they being buddy buddy with each other and everything. And then they
Mm-hmm.
had the press conference the other day in Saudi, and which was a mild ass press conference. It ain't really much to really talk about for us that press conference.
Mm-hmm.
But today, today's press conference at Fanatics
That got
Fest
lit.
in New York City. It got a little hot, man. That man Bud was saying like, "I'm coming to hunt Canelo down," and Canelo said Turkey need to make the ring smaller, saying that Bud gonna run from him in the fight. And towards the end, they got to doing a face off and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and Bud got a real close on on Canelo up in his face and face to face, and Canelo wasn't feeling it, man, and he gave him a little
Mm-hmm.
push, man, and then both entourages, Bo Mac in the middle trying to charge at people and shit. Dana White holding it down between the two camps and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like a little WWE-ish to me, man. But what you think? What you think about Canelo versus Bug press conferences?
um, I didn't take nothing away from the first, like from the dinner and everything. It was a lot of people feeling some type of way about it. I know, us up here in America, we just more accustomed to the to the shenanigans and the foolishness that go down at pressers and everything. And when you get around it, your opponent, the entourages are supposed to clash with each other. You're supposed to cuss each other the fuck out and do all that extra shit. I wasn't. I didn't trip off of the dinner. I was like, all right, cool. That's just showing. It's still a sense of class and all right, yeah, we finna go in here and brutalize each other when we get in the ring. We can save that until we get into the ring. Until then, let's conduct ourselves with a certain level of professionalism. So I was cool with it. All right, yeah, cool. Yeah, y'all get y'all. It is what it is because neither one of them have a tumultuous history between the two of them. The first presser, I was like, all right, cool. It was a little back and forth banter. Like I was on IBFP's channel, a couple, after the first presser went down, and I was telling him, man, just how they was, barking at each other a little bit, but it's like how I talk with the homies when we finna play 2K. Like, my nigga, I'm finna fuck you up. Nothing extra, like, on
Right,
some rah-rah shit, but just, I'm about to beat your ass and I'm finna crash this nigga. Just shit like that.
right,
So I wasn't tripping. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, just this is to be expected because there's no bad blood between the two of them. But the second presser, I think Bud, I'm not gonna say he was rattled. Man, listen, we proud Nebraskans, dog. We ain't shook at no niggas. So I'm not saying that he was shook, but I did see a different demeanor in him, like a you got me fucked up demeanor. Like what? Y'all booing me after what? Y'all booing me? All right, bet. Like I'm on that now. Now it's demon,
right.
his devil
Right,
trigger
yeah.
activated.
He activated. He turned up a little bit, man.
Ex-
He
I
said
dig
a
it.
lot of y'all gonna be crying at the end of the night after he
Mm-hmm.
beat Canelo September 13th, man. So and
Mm-hmm.
I was one thing that caught my attention though was looking at like no, looking at Bud's demeanor, like his eyes looking at Canelo in the sense, no diddler, no diddler. Had to add that
Yeah,
in
of
there.
course.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Looking at, you know what I'm saying, as far as just looking at Bud looked hungry for the win. I ain't gonna lie. He looked
Mm-hmm.
determined, man. And that's one thing I will say I always respected out of Bud, just his competitiveness and him definitely being one of them guys that definitely gonna come in there. He gonna give it his all. He gonna leave it all in the ring, man. And I believe he gonna try that in this fight with Canelo. But not so fast. One thing that caught my eye about what Bud Crawford said, the man said that he is 155 pounds currently right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you believe that? Looking at Bud's size from the pictures and videos he done shared over the past couple of weeks, him saying that he's currently 155 pounds right now and he's going to fight at his natural weight going into this fight. Honestly, how he feels fighting at going close to moving up to 168.
I'm not sure. I don't even have an opinion on it, honestly, bro. I don't know, man. Maybe he is. He didn't look 155, really like he looked bigger than 155, but
Yeah, he look.
it he
I
looked a little
thought he was.
beefier.
I thought the weight was bored. I'm thinking he had 180 something, and then he trimmed
Mm-hmm.
it down. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it looked to me. Now that's when he said I'm at 155. I'm like, bro, you
Mm-hmm.
don't look no 155. I don't even know why you even saying this on
He looked
camera.
brolic, yeah.
Like this ain't it right here. Like you ain't at no 155, bro. Like you're not. You're capping. You're clearly capping right now. Right, you're
Mm-hmm.
capping because we was hearing for us early, like, a couple weeks ago, Bo Mack and them was saying that, he was, building up weight, eating good and everything. And then, he was going down to, trim down the weight, getting close to 168. That's what I was in an impression of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But look at my boy Ant McQueen. Salute to my brother Ant McQueen. And make sure y'all go subscribe to Casuals Corner, man. My brother Ant McQueen and Thomas Hill and the fellas, they be doing great work over there on the boxing content. My man says, looking to see if Buzz patented patented bodywork
Mm-hmm.
makes an appearance and how it affects the fight. For sure. What you think about that right there, bro?
Man, listen, man. I'm rooting for my champion, dog. That's all I can say. I was initially I was never a big fan of this fight because it's just too big of a weight difference. The weight is just too much, and it would be a different story. Like if he was going up in there and it would say, let's say, who would we say at 168 pounds that maybe a Beck the Bully. If he was going up in there with Beck the Bully, you could say, I wouldn't feel as I wouldn't feel the type of way about him going up in there as I did with Canelo initially, because I'm just like, it's not like Canelo's an all time great, a generational talent, dog. So I'm like, you got that and the weight, the added weight to it. I'm like, fuck. I was never a fan of this fight, but now that we here, I'm rooting for my champion. And so I hope it does work. I hope the body work does work. I hope everything works so Bud can get this, squeeze out this victory. And yeah, man, yeah, I hope it does work. I hope it does work. So
Yeah,
that's all I got to say
I
about that.
mean, I'm definitely curious in far as how Bud's power is going to translate in the fight with Canelo for sure, moving up for sure. Because I always kind of had like an impression that Bud is just one of them like just one of them strong ass black dudes. You know what I'm saying? One of them dudes that just got
Mm-hmm.
that natural strength. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always kind of, them guys that played football back in the day. They in the weight
Mm-hmm.
room and they benching like 300 and shit. But they just got natural strong strength. Like, I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
Bud. You know what I mean? Salute to my brother, No Evidence, man. My dog, yeah, I got you too, bro. Yeah. So yeah, I just think with Bud, man, in this fight, it's definitely interesting to see how this weight gonna really translate and how his power gonna translate. And no, I don't believe like far as Canelo saying that he believed that the no the ring need to be smaller, like because he believes Bud is gonna run from her. I don't believe Bud gonna run from her for some reason. That's just my opinion.
He better.
But
I think he got to fight like Madrimov to secure a victory. Be a little a lot more defensively responsible in there with Canelo. You gotta fight like Madrimov, but you have to fight a lot more responsible defensively. You can't afford to keep getting hit with them straight hands that you was getting hit with in front of Madrimov. Do I think he can pull it off? I'm hoping so. I think what people was getting fucked up at how dominant he looked in front of Spence. They keep relegating the Spence win to a Canelo fight, and Spence and Canelo are not the same. They're just not. So I think the fight that just tweak how you looked in front of Madrimov, because that's honestly the perfect game plan in front of a Canelo Alvarez. Tweak that, tweak that, and if he does get this victory, that's how it's gonna look. It's gonna look like how it did against Madrimov in a tough, competitive bout. It's gonna look like that, and that's what we hoping for up here in the city, man.
right.
That's what we hoping for.
I say this would worry me though, cause I felt like the Majimov fight, of course, being the first fight for him at 154. Salute to my brother Big Dre that just came in the building, man. My brother. I mean, one thing about that fight was, it was a tough, rugged fight for him. I mean, tough, rugged fight to where, Bud definitely had to grind out in the championship rounds, to close out and win that fight in
Hmm.
particular. I mean, that was his first fight at 154. So I'm like, a lot of people they looking at him like, damn, if he couldn't stop Madrimov at 154, we don't know how that power gonna translate, fighting a guy like Canelo at 168 when we know Canelo, he got a granted chin. He got one of the best chins in the game, no dealer. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, you know what I mean?
No diddler.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's just something to really think about on that end for real. Cause, Canelo
Hmm.
definitely, he going I feel, Canelo definitely one of those guys that gonna be able to take his shots and how is Bud gonna translate and taking Canelo shots, being at
Hmm.
that, coming up from 154 to 168. Like that's gonna be very
Hmm.
key in that for real. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's interesting, is he gonna back down like Jamil did after a while? You know what I'm saying? Because
No.
that's the thing. I think I honestly believe like he got more willpower and determination than Jamil. But the thing is, Jamil, you gotta look at Jamil. What he was doing, he was like putting bodies to the flow over there at 154. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying?
was.
Like, no, he swept that whole division and cleaned up and was undisputed over there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So no, him, very powerful fighter fighting Canelo, couldn't withstand Canelo's power in that fight. It's very a little bit telling for me in the fight for us pertaining to Bud only having one fight at 154,
Hmm.
and him moving up these two-way classes. It's just it's very interesting for sure. Me personally, I'm on record. I've been telling people I don't like the fight. I don't like the
Yeah.
fight because of the weight, and I believe that damn Canelo should be fighting David Benavidez, man. He should be fighting David Benavidez, man. But he don't want David Benavidez to take his crown. So I understand, man. He's scared to get his
David
ass whooped
Benavidez
to
gonna
take
take
that
Canelo
crown.
crown?
Hell yeah, he gonna take that crown. You
Fuck
know,
out of
all them
here.
fans going to
Hell
David
no.
Benavidez. He beat
No.
him.
No.
A lot
David
of them
ain't fucking
already
with
done
Canelo.
left Canelo already.
David ain't fucking with Canelo, man. David can't fuck with Canelo, man.
Then Canelo should take the fight.
He should. But my thing is this, man.
You know,
And this
there's
is
a
like,
reason why he said, "I want 200 million to fight David
yeah,
Benavidez."
yeah,
There's a
yeah, but
reason. If you
yeah.
outprice yourself that much, like,
Not
come on,
necessarily.
man.
Who's
You
to
you
say he
know
Brody?
you don't
Look at
want
the
to get
bag he
spanked.
getting. Look at the bag he getting for Bud. Look at the bag he getting for this 4 fight deal. And David Benavidez himself is even on record saying, "Yo, I want the fight." Well, this is he just said this in the past couple of days. I want you and Canelo to fight for the for his for his final 4 fight deal or whatever. So I don't think it's him pricing himself out because look at what he's because he had no interest in fighting Bud. He had no interest in fighting Bud. He was like, "Man, give me 150, I'll fight him." And look at where we at now. So I mean, the ends justify the means. But even then, let's say he didn't get that, he didn't get that show. It's still like, bro, you running your mouth. Y'all talking about y'all sending the nigga offers and everything, and all of that shit is coming out as fictitious, my nigga. You ain't send me no offer to fight. You running your mouth like if I don't go and holler at you, my legacy is somehow in shambles. After all of the work I done put in, bro, I come in, I unify a division in under a calendar year that you sat in for 10 years and didn't even unify with a dude who was on your same side of the street. Y'all wanted to marinate that fight. And you don't fight that nigga until after I knock him the fuck out and Debo a belt up off of him. Now you want to go holler at him. Now you interested in fighting a Dimitri Bivol. Now you interested in fighting a Callum Smith. Peep game. I fought these niggas 2 and 3 years ago. Why you just now getting to them when y'all was all champions in the same division? You talking about you want to go fight Artur Beterbiev? Well, then why did you turn down the fight? When you was elevated to be his mandatory. I hollered at that nigga first before I even went fought Bivol. I'm sorry. I'm just. It's like, yo, you doing too much. You popping off. You funny style how you move. I'm cool on you. I don't even want to hear your name. No reporter, no scribe better not mention your name at a press conference, dog. Otherwise, I'm gonna ban and block you. I'm not a fan of that. But I understand what he's saying, my nigga. Listen, if this is Martin, you hustle man. You hustle man, my nigga. You don't even get on. You don't even show up on the majority of the shows, bro. You a complimentary character, and you talking greasy about me. Fuck out of here.
I see now. This is where I differ on this one
Let's
because
hear
the
it.
thing is with Canelo, man, Canelo, you the one that said you wouldn't fight any Mexicans, but what you go and do? You fought Jaime Munguia. You know what I
A
mean?
Mexican.
You know what I'm saying? You fought a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? You there goes that excuse. And then you said, "Oh well, I don't want to fight David Benavidez. He gonna be 200 something pounds on fight night." Well, you fought a guy named Edgar Berlanga that was weighing 193 pounds on fight night.
Mm-hmm.
So, kill that whole narrative right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this
Mm-hmm.
man saying some of these things, he's making all of these excuses not to make the fight. And then you look at the
Mm-hmm.
resume of Canelo the last 2, 3 years of the guys that he done fought. All of the guys is winnable fights. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
fought no real tough fight. Where we looked at, his last tough fight probably that that was competitive that we seen that from him was probably the Caleb Plant fight, where it was a good fight, and Caleb Plant, he got knocked out in the fight. That was his last knockout. He ain't even had a knockout since 2021 since that fight. You know what I mean, so I'm just saying in general, you look at the John Riders, the Edgar
A good win.
Berlangas, the Jaime
That was trash.
Munguias.
A good
You know what I'm
win.
saying? You look at all of these fights that he's been picking lately. You know what I'm saying? Like he was even trying to fight Jamal Charlo when we know Jamal Charlo was, fucking mentally not there to fight. You know what I'm saying? And then he had Jamil Charlo step in and he fights Jamil Charlo, moving him up from two weight classes. You feel me? So, and now look at him now. He's fighting Bud Crawford. He's moving Bud Crawford up pretty much, really, honestly, three classes for real, because
Yeah.
Bud only fought one time at 154 in particular. You know what I mean? You just look at the movement of Canelo. Canelo don't want to lose his spot for real. He don't. You see him. He's saying that the Bud Crawford fight is easy money to him. He says easy money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying the way Canelo been moving. He never wanted to even get remotely even close to David Benavidez. And David Benavidez, he did it the right way, in my opinion, for us. He said, yo, yes, I do want the Canelo fight, but you know what? I'm gonna fight all of the guys around you. So I'm gonna fight
No.
Andre. I'm gonna fight Morrell. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight all of these guys pretty much that you ain't fought in your past as well. That a lot of other fans wanted you to fight these guys. I'm gonna fight all of these guys. And I beat him, and I'm gonna put myself in position. This man, David Benavidez, was his mandatory for 3 years. How the hell would the WBC allow Canelo for 3 years not to fight this man? But they ordering all these other fights to happen and everything, and making these other guys defend their straps versus the other people. But they ain't want to make that order for Canelo to fight David Benavidez.
David
But
Benavidez didn't
David
activate that
Benavidez,
mandatory
he
neither
had to
though.
move up to 175 to get smoke. He like, shit, let me go ahead and get smoke at 175. Let me put myself in position to fight for undisputed at
He,
175, in which, the WBC was gladly to do that shit. They like, here, you have the mandatory for the WBC right here. Soon as he moved up to 175. Got the interim title beating Gosdick, you know what I mean? Moving up to 175. Fights Morrell. Captures the WBA interim fighting Morrell. And now he looking to possibly try to fight Callum Smith, which Callum Smith has the WBO interim. So if he fights him, he puts himself even more position to fight the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. You know what I mean?
he's
So
not gonna fight them
I
dudes, bro.
applaud David Benavidez. He doing everything right. He said, shit, fuck it. Canelo ain't trying to fight. I'm gonna try to make my own lane, and I'm gonna move up to 175, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to get those top guys up there. And he
He,
taking all the challenges up there.
he's not gonna
All the
fight them dudes,
challenges.
bro. He's not gonna fight them. He's not gonna fight Bavard. He's
It's
not
gonna be
going.
it's gonna be on that side of why they ain't fight, and why they ain't gonna
No, it's
fight. It
gonna
ain't
be
gonna
on
be
his
on
side.
David.
It's gonna be on his side, bro.
David
And
ain't
this is,
ducking no smoke out here, bro.
yeah,
Canelo ducking
he
real
is.
smoke out
He,
here. Pulling up
David ain't
niggas from
real smoke.
147 out. He ducking real
David
smoke
ain't
out
real
here.
smoke. All right,
David is
okay. So
real smoke. If,
let's do
if
this.
he
Let's
ain't
do
real
this.
smoke,
Let's do
Canelo
this.
would not want no 200 plus.
Let's
They know PBC. They was trying to give Canelo 50 million to fight David Benavidez. He didn't even want that, but he took the 35 million to fight Edgar Berlanga and Jaime McGee. Come
let's
on
do
now,
this.
brother.
Let's do this. Let's do
Come
this. Let's do
on.
this. For all this, Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. I'm not a fan of Edgar Berlanga. I think that dude is mid as fuck. I like Jaime Munguia as a fighter. I honestly do. But the thing is this, even with Callum Smith, man, well, even before not Callum Smith before, but he called those same dudes out. He called out Edgar Berlanga. He called out Jaime Munguia. So I'm like, for all the slack that Canelo gets for fighting them dudes, David called them out as well,
He
and he
trying to pick
deserved.
them off too. He like shit. I'm gonna pick them motherfuckers off too. You know what I mean?
So
But
what?
shit, Canelo said, "Let me go ahead and fight them
So
guys and get them
why?
out of the
So
way." And then look at what
so
Jaime McGee done since then.
so
Bruno
yeah, it's
Suarez, two
fucked up. It's
fights.
fucked up. It's fucked up.
Got
It's fucked
knocked
up.
out
So
by Bruno Suarez, and then he fights
with
him
six
again. He wins
knockouts
by UD, and then
and
boom,
getting popped
shit, he
dirty.
popped dirty. Edgar Berlanga's back to fight Hamza Suarez. Hamza Suarez first fight at 168 right now.
And I think
I
Hamza gonna
mean,
fuck him up.
you think
Hamza's
you
gonna
think
fuck him
Suarez
up.
gonna win that with Berlanga? I like that.
Hmm.
I like that.
I
I
like
ain't even
Hamza.
mad at that at all. I ain't that high on Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? I
Me
feel
neither.
like the fight is I feel like it's a 50-50 fight between them two, to be honest.
Hmm.
I think they're gonna get it cracking for sure. Like that's why their main event, because it's gonna be a high impact fight rather than
Hmm.
fucking Shakur and Zepeda, you know what I'm saying? Shakur with his pity pat shit, Shabriddle.
Nah, Shakur's gonna have. He's not gonna have no choice but to fight, bro. Shakur could lose that fight.
He
Shakur could
definitely
lose
can.
that. He could lose
He
that fight.
definitely can.
He could lose that fight, man. But like I won't say David ain't no smoke. I won't say that, man. I think it's a good fight, and I'm gonna keep shit a stack with you. It's the fight that I want more than any other fight. But I can't fault you for not going to fight this dude when you still playing catch up through two divisions that I fought that you were campaigning in. We
I'm
can't
knocking off
fault.
I'm knocking off all the top guys, and you fighting the guys that We
Well, who's
don't
the
want to
top
see you
guys? Let
fight.
let let
We don't
who's
want
the
to see
top guy?
it. All right. So the Bud Crawford fight. Now, let me ask you this: is this a cash grab fight for both of these guys? Pretty much. Is this a fantasy fight?
Man, I don't want to be disrespectful
Be
in saying this.
real. Be real. I know you Nebraska out and everything. You Bud Crawford out. You a Canelo fan and everything. You like both guys. Be real. Is this a pure fantasy fucking fight that's on the game of undisputed? Because that's what it's fucking looking like.
I would say that it is. I would say that it is. I think Bud is. I think Bud is about to ride off into the sunset. But I do think he's coming in this fight with a sense of confidence. Like my nigga, I'm about to be 3-time undisputed. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them belts is coming back to the O with me. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So, but it's not a fight that I prefer a David Benavidez fight over this fight. I honestly would because I think David Benavidez being in the division when he was in the division, I would say that it's more of an intriguing fight. But
We
yeah,
want the best to fight the best, right? Ain't
yeah, we do.
ain't
But
can- ain't them two the best between that 168, 175? No, Canelo
who?
and DB.
No,
You don't believe
no.
David Benavidez ain't one of the best? Oh my
When you
God!
say, well, hold on, when you say one of the
You ain't
best,
got
when
no
you say
love
one of
for
the
David
best, when you say
Benavidez.
one of the best, when you say, are you saying he
David
belongs in this?
Benavidez is
Hold,
one of the best.
let me do it. Let me set this question up for you. Do
What?
you think he's one of the best in as far as like he top 10 in the division, or is he one of the best like how Bavard Beterbiev is one of the best? Do you believe he belongs in the
I
same?
believe what I believe he is within the division, and I believe he is possibly he top 10 fighter in the world.
In the mm, he
David
ain't proved
Benavidez
it.
has a great case to be a top 10 fighter in the world.
Fuck no.
Definitely.
Over. No, absolutely not.
Based
Absolutely
off
not.
of the guys that he's fighting right now. He's fighting all the killers. He's fighting
Morrell ain't no
killers.
killer. Morrell ain't no Morrell
You
ain't
ain't
no
high
killer.
on David Morrell.
I think
David
David
Morrell
Morrell.
is a dog,
I
bro.
think David Morrell is nice, my dude. I think David Morrell is nice, but we got to see him in there with somebody else. Rada Valle, I think, was a good win for him. I think Radavalle Kalajic was a good win for him, but Radavalle Kalajic, I don't he's not better than Callum. He's not better than Buatsi. He's not better than Hutchinson. He's not better than these dudes. You dig? And that's a dude who went in there and got outlined in chalk by Artur Beterbiev. I think he's a good fighter though. I definitely think he's a good fighter. But I don't, when you say the best, like I think people get it so fucked up us here in America that just we automatically gonna peep. If you come into prominence in America, all right, cool, you got it made. You one of the best in the division. You'll ignore what's happening on the European circuit. The best from 175 on up. The majority of the best fighters are from the Brit. They're the Brits. You dig? So I don't think David Morrell is. I don't think David Morrell is better than Callum Smith. I don't think he's better than Joshua Buatsi. I don't think he's better than Hutchinson. I think he
You
could be game
crazy.
for
You
for
crazy.
Richardson. Real
David
talk. Real talk.
Morrell will step on Buasi and all
How?
of them guys. Buasi ain't that
How?
good.
Buatsi was
Buasi
a
ain't
top.
that good.
Buatsi's a top 10 fighter in the division who's been in there with
This,
better opposition
but
than
you
a
got
David Morrell.
okay. This is my thing though. Like it goes back to what we had earlier in the conversation that we had, where I was saying, with yeah, some of these guys are ranked. Some of these guys become champions. But just because some of these guys are ranked and they become champions, don't mean they good. There's a lot of guys that's ranked in the top 10, the top 15 of all of these sanctioning bodies, and some of these guys ain't fucking good.
So you telling me Joshua Buatsi ain't really that good and Callum Smith ain't really that good?
Carlos Smith is good. Shit, Smith won the fight.
But even but before Smith fought Joshua Buatsi was putting in pain. You telling me Joshua Buatsi ain't good? You telling me you would pick David Morrell over Joshua Buatsi?
He ain't more talented than David Morrell.
Based on what? He's beaten a higher grade opponents than David Morrell. He beat Dan Aziz. He beat Hutchinson. He beat Craig Spider Richards. These are legitimate top 10 fighters in the division. David Morrell is still
I would love to see them lace it up. To lace it up. I love to see them fight.
me too. I would love it.
I love to
But
see that. I think Morrell got a good test coming up on his fight July 12th. You know what I
yes,
mean?
he
So,
does.
you know what I mean? I like what David Morrell is doing. I think he's one of them guys. I mean, he just ran into a guy, David Benavidez, that was just too much and more experienced than him.
And I think that's the only reason why he won because of the
That was
experience,
good
bro.
experience for Morrell to have that fight because now, like in a big fight like that, now he warmed up where he gets some of these more bigger fights. It's definitely gonna
Mm-hmm.
pose well for him to have that experience fighting a guy like David Benavidez for sure,
Agreed. Definitely.
for
I
sure.
definitely agree. Definitely agree. But I just, I feel like David Morrell and David Benavidez are being preordained, too immaturely. They haven't proven that yet, man. I think if Vozick not been sitting on the couch for 3 years off of retirement because of what Better BF did to him, and he beat him in the manner that he beat him in, I think I think it's a credible win now because of what he did. You did like just how he did with what he did to Adonis Stevenson. I think it's a credible win, but I rate Caleb Plant's win over Caleb Plant higher than Vozick because Caleb Plant was more active than Vozick. I think Vozick is a better fighter than the Caleb Plant,
Uh,
but he was just on the bench for too long. So I
Yeah,
rate Caleb Plant's.
those both wins are solid wins to me, and the
Yeah, they
Morrell
solid
and the
wins. They solid.
Andre. Those all four of those wins for David
Andre,
Benavidez
nah,
are solid wins.
I can't say Andre. I
Solid
can't say
wins for
Andre.
him.
I can't say Andre because
Canelo,
Andre was another.
hey, Canelo to say that's a guy Canelo didn't want to fight when they was in them lower divisions too,
Why do
man.
I gotta go? I fight, bro. I fought Golovkin and Danny Jacobs. Who was it? Everybody can't get got to. That's my thing. Everybody can't get got to, and I'm not mad at it
You
for that.
right, you right.
So if he don't get to David Benavidez, it is what it is, bro. I've already fought the dude, beat one dude, and lost, and fought at least fought the other dude that's in your scope right now for you to fight. I can't be mad at
I
him for
think
that.
it is Canelo being too prideful, man. You know what I'm saying? He being too prideful, man. He don't want to he don't want to get that spot taken from him. You know what I mean? Definitely with the massacres and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Him waving that Mexico flag and everything. He loses David Benavidez, man. He get the pinata beat out of him by David Benavidez, man. It's over, man. The whole
Out
Mexican fan base rocking with David Benavidez after that.
outside of
It would have
pressure
been the
and
same
value
thing,
punching.
even with it probably would have been. It probably wouldn't have been more significant if Jaime beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like the fan base, but they would have ran that shit back, and Canelo probably would have beat him, and then
Mhm.
that would have been it. You know what I mean? But on this fight with Bud Crawford too, that's another thing too. With Canelo versus Bud, it's no rematch clause on this fight too.
Mhm.
And it was funny. My dude was like, hey man, Bud, it ain't no rehydration clause on this Canelo versus Bud fight. I'm like, yeah, of course. Canelo's the A side, my guy. Bud don't
Mhm.
got no say so on what the hell going on
Exactly.
for his clauses and shit in this situation. This ain't Earl Spence. Nigga, this is
Mhm.
Canelo. Canelo, whatever
Exactly.
he says goes. If you want the fight, you take what I offer you. You know what I'm saying? And,
Mhm.
and it goes into that too with me. Cause, you know, a lot of these guys be bending the knee to take the fights with Canelo and shit, but they don't be doing that with some of these other stars out here,
Mhm.
man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man.
That's why I salute Dimitri Bivol. Like my nigga, my career ain't waiting on you. I'm not about to play this game with you, bro. Like I'm a consummate professional. You dig? I don't need you. I'm gonna go do what it is that I do over here. You ain't even in my division. So if you want to fight me again, I come and holler at you at 168. You can get away with saying that with some. You can play another nigga. You can draw a nigga into that with somebody else. You ain't. I'm not gonna allow you to do that shit to me because I'm not a dude who wants the prestige. No way. All right, you don't want to fight at 68. All right, I'm done with you, man. I'm on to the next. I salute Bivol for that. I salute Bivol for that. You're not about to dictate my career, Brody. It's
Yeah,
not happening, doggy.
absolutely. Like that, even at that, like Canelo didn't even want to run that fight back right away. You feel
He
me? Like,
did.
come
He
on,
did.
like, come on.
He did. He
He
did.
upped the rematch, man. He was trying to make it like, no, we gonna fight at 175. No,
But
Bivol want to come to 168 to fight for your titles at 168. Run it back.
mm-mm,
Canelo didn't want to run it back. He said, I want to fight
mm-mm.
at 175, and then he ran away from the negotiations after
I'm.
that,
I'm
knowing
gonna tell
that
you.
Bivol wanted to fight for 168. He wanted to
But
fight for those undisputed titles.
but it was already a narrative out saying that yo, you want to fight him at 168 pounds so you can drain him. And not to mention, it's like, bro, you beat me up there. I want to fight you again up there. Some motherfuckers is just like, nah, I don't. To me, if you, I'll come down to your division and fight you. Then it's like, nah, bro, because that's you. That's like you giving me a head start in a foot race. Nah, my nigga, I want to come holler at you. I'm jumping in your pool, my nigga. I'm about to come and
I
holler at
feel
you.
you. I'm with you on that. As far as like
Yeah.
Canelo wanting to do the rematch at 175, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta. If Canelo got that dog in him and that competitiveness that he got, if that man say he want to fight you at 168 for your titles, go ahead and defend the straps. Bring his ass. You bringing up motherfucking shit. Bring his ass down to 168 and
Nah,
fight his ass at
because
168.
because the thing is this, bro. He's not gonna beat Bivol, and I said that before they fought. I don't see Canelo beating no Bivol. So if I lose, I'm gonna lose up there at 175 pounds. With my title safe over here, you can't touch my
Keep it
war chest.
real
But
safe
I can
over
go up there and
there.
holler at you,
Very
and you
safe.
know what I'm saying?
That
Because
boy,
I'm in
man,
the
that boy, he done put the titles in a damn lockbox and
exactly.
shit.
You
He
ain't
done
getting
turned the
nowhere
lock like
near.
nigga. They ain't
You can't
going
touch
no
my
damn
treasure.
where.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at him for that, man. When you in a position where you pay the cost to be the boss, you dictate the terms, my nigga. No, I want to come holler at you up there. And if I can't, all right, then it is what it is. I'm on to the next. And shout out to Bivol for standing on his square for that. I fuck with Bivol for that. But I'm not like
You
I
should have
said, man.
ran that back, man. You should have
Running
ran
back
that
at
back.
75. Running back at 75. I think running back at 75, man. I fuck with that. I fuck with it. But he's not gonna beat Bivol. And I'm the big. I was the biggest Canelo. I'm a hating ass nigga, and I ain't got no issue with saying that. But I became a fan after the fuck when he grew the beard out when he fought Chavez. I was like, yo, man, I fuck with Canelo now. I was the big, but I was the biggest detractor of his when I was like, all right, I see him in his bag now, but I was like, he's not going to beat Bivol, dog, and he better stay the fuck away from Artur. He better stay the fuck away from Artur. Oh shit, round one, what's happening?
Was
That's my
good round
man.
one. Was good, man. About time my boy round one that came over to the space over here in CamJ, you heard? Hey man,
Yes,
so
sir.
we going to this next topic, man.
Let's
So
do the damn thing.
all right, so with Boots, man. Man, Boots moving up to 154, man. Is that the best move for Boots in his career right now? You know what I mean? Moving up to 154.
Yes, 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 yeah, bro. You should have been did that, man. I think Brian Norman played themselves out of position. They should have took that fight, bro. They should have took that fight. They should. You got to strike. That's the thing with America, man. Just we got this culture to where we got to let everything marinate in milk, like everybody is gonna be Manny and Mayweather. Y'all niggas is not that, dog. You got to strike while the iron is hot, and this is why the British boxing scene is bubbling. This is why the Aussies is bubbling. This is why the Asian boxing scene is bubbling. They striking while the iron is hot. If you got a fighter over there that's 15-0 and another one that's 12-0, 13-0, 16-0, 18-0. They're on the same trajectory. You dig? Y'all on the brink of title contention. So let's line these two niggas up right here. May the best man win. AJ and fucking Josh, not Joshua Buwaki, but Dillian White. They both had successful careers. Dillian White never became a champion, but he was a notable name in the division. That's
Facts.
dope. That's dope. You got to strike while the iron is hot. Everybody ain't gonna be Floyd and Manny. Y'all niggas is not that. So you can't afford to turn down no fights, especially when you a Brian Norman who hasn't been, you haven't gotten the fights. That shit, bro. You was on the undercard of Michaela Mary and Sandy Ryan, bro. They not on you like that. Even after your Centillion win, you gotta strike while the iron is hot. And at that time, Boots was the HNIC in the division. You got to go holler at him. You got to. So now that ship has sailed, it's right for Boots to. Hey, it is what it is, man. You made the right move, Boots. You made the right move.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
mad at
I
it.
see one thing that caught my eye with it though was like I seen people they was like giving flack to Boots like, oh well, he could have stayed just for one more fight. Well, the thing is, this man Boots didn't try to fight, Barrios. And he tried to fight, Brian Norman over these past, several months throughout this past year, and he wasn't able to get these fights done. And this is like after a while, it's like, yo, I accomplished beating Stanionis. I got one of them. I mean, at
Mm-hmm.
this point, like, shit, I'm not about to sit here and wait for these guys and
Mm-hmm.
have another possible Errol Spence situation. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You know what I mean, where I outgrow the division too late.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I gotta make my move to 154, and I'm one of the guys that I've been saying like Boots need. Hey, fuck waiting on them guys.
Mm-hmm.
Move up to 154 and go handle business, man. Up there,
Mm-hmm.
all the bigger fights is up there. The bigger
Facts.
bags is up there at
Facts.
154. Like Brian Norman, amazing fighter. You know what I'm saying? I like what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
definitely
Definitely.
putting it work. But I felt like Brian Norman Jr., like in his day, the way they were moving, I felt like they weren't really trying to have a fight right away. Top Rank was willing to give him up and
Mm-hmm.
had a fight. And Top Rank, that's another thing with the relationship with Top Rank and Brian Norman Jr. It seemed like, of course, with the Giovanni Santillan fight, like, before that, Norman was having some lackluster performances leading up to that
Mm-hmm.
fight. And Top Rank, they was thinking about dropping him. Like, yo, we're gonna put him in
Mm-hmm.
against Giovanni Santillan, put him in this little title eliminator, and see if get him whacked. That was a setup fight to get him whacked for real. But
Mm-hmm.
he handled business. He
Ooh.
won that fight, stopped him cold. It is what it is. He moves on, get elevated to champion for the WBO. Had the fight with Cuevas, and
Mm-hmm.
before the fight though, he was negotiating the whole time amongst with Boots at the same time. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so that's where it looked iffy. Like if you was negotiating when you had a fight going on at this period of time, why didn't you want to negotiate when you had a fight with Jen Sasaki and lock the
Mm-hmm.
fight with Boots in after that? You know what I mean? So like that was the
Mm-hmm.
iffy part about that. I mean, I know everybody want to get into timelines when this happened and that happened and all of that. I ain't got to do all of that. I'm just looking at from what I seen verbatim in person. I know they were publicly negotiating with Eddie Hearn and Boots
Mm-hmm.
while they had a fight with Quavers already locked in, and then they come to Jen Sasaki. They ain't want to
Ooh.
negotiate during this fight when they knew they was gonna smoke Jen Sasaki,
Oh my
man.
God.
They knew they was gonna smoke that dude, man. Come
Mm-hmm.
on now. Like it
What made
wasn't
it?
the man Jen Sasaki, his last fight was in January, and he fought a dude that was 29-14.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, let's be real. Like y'all know
Mm-hmm.
y'all was gonna smoke dude. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So y'all could have went ahead and locked that fight in for sure, man. In my
Facts.
opinion, you know what I mean? And I'm all the way good with Bruce Ennis moving to 154. Brian Norman Jr., yeah. Now you got the opportunity where you can become the man at
Mm-hmm.
147. You can run
Mm-hmm.
147 and then when you can capture a couple titles up there, you can move up to
Mm-hmm.
154 and make the challenge again. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking that the fight with Boots versus Brian Norman Jr. is far off because they're only a division away. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens with Boots, how he maneuvers. Like right now, obviously, Tellez, he ended up getting ordered to fight another fight yesterday from the WBA. So Boots moving up to 154 to fight automatic for that WBA interim title versus Eunice Tellez, looking unlikely to happen right away. And then you got Virgil Ortiz was the fight that Eddie Hearn was looking at 154 as well for Boots. And Virgil Ortiz has he's recovering from an injury and everything right
Mm-hmm.
now. So they was about to put Virgil Ortiz fighting Chuck again. You know what I'm saying? From reports this past week. But
Mm-hmm. I
Virgil
saw that.
Ortiz with the injury gonna have him sit out for a while. So now it look like Boots and Chuck may be a thing now. That
I'm
may
with
be
it.
the next move, man.
I'm
What
with
you
it.
think
I'm
about
with
that
it.
fight?
I'm with it, man. Personally, I think the money fight at 154 pounds right now is Boots and Virgil. That's the big fight right there, man. But
Yeah.
Boots and Boachuk because, man, Boots hasn't really been tested yet, and I don't. I'm high on him, but I'm not as high on him as others think, bro. Like I don't think he beats Virgil. I think it's a 50-50 competitive bout, but I think Virgil is more battle tested. He's been in there with the the tougher opposition, despite Boots being a former unified champion. I think I think Virgil has been in there with the better opposition. Even at 147, I think Kavliasquez is a better win over Stanionis. Even though Stanionis had a belt, if you put them two in the ring, in my personal opinion, I think
I'm mad
Kavliasquez.
Stanionis and Virgil ain't get it cracking still, for
Yeah,
real,
I
man. I'm
know, I
mad they ain't get it
know.
cracking.
Oh, that would have been a balling ass fight, man. But we ain't get it, so it is what it is, man. But I think Boots is
D1
gonna lose at
salute,
150.
man. Everybody go subscribe to Angry White Man Podcast, man. That's my brother. That's family over there. Subscribe to D1 and William Old School, AWM. You go
Oh,
ahead,
bet.
Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check all these cats out. But Boots is gonna lose at 154 pounds. Virgil is gonna lose at 154 pounds. Nobody is coming out of this division unscathed, dog. Nobody.
It's the most deep division for real in boxing right now, in my opinion, for us
Yes,
154. For real, in my opinion. They got some killers
yes.
all around.
Demons, dog. Demons.
Man, I'm
Nobody is
I'm not mad. This the thing too, as us boxing
exactly.
fans. Like, let's be real. When we have a fighter that we like and they lose the fight, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Like, it's okay if they lose a fight to somebody that was tough in there, man. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine if Tank go in there and lose to Lamont Roach. I'm not gonna be mad at all. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine if Boots fights a guy like Virgil Ortiz and he loses a fight with Virgil Ortiz. Like, I'm fine with that. That is cool. He lost to one of the best guys, so I'm fine with that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, it's okay. Like, everybody got this whole thing where they want their fighters to keep their O's and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And where it's just
Tired
unlikely
of
if
it.
they get put in there with somebody that can beat them. Like right
Mm-hmm.
now in the whole landscape of boxing, we ain't seeing many 50-50 fights as it
Mm-hmm.
is. There's a lot
Unless
of
you on a turkey
showcase
card.
ass fights, a lot of showcase ass fights for real. Then you got a lot of fights that no, where they're 50-55. I mean 50-50-45, 60-40, 65,
Mm.
35 and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't seeing so many fights. So I'm just saying in general, like, us as boxing fans, we really have to, like, be conscious of what we talking about in these fighters. Like, if these guys lose a fight and that's one of your favorite guys, it's okay. Let them motherfucking grind it back out and win again. Man, they
Mm-hmm.
got another life to live, another day and fight, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly,
For
exactly.
sure.
I'm not. I personally, you learning a loss. When Floyd went up there and crashed Canelo, he learning that loss, man. Niggas learning a loss, man. Like motherfuckers, motherfuckers can't name me 10 undefeated fighters. You know what I'm saying? You can't name me 10 undefeated fighters. No,
Right.
and I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, making a general
Right. Right.
statement or
Right.
whatever, man. But you can't. And Mike Tyson is my personal goat. Just I don't. I think Mike Tyson at his peak, he beat every damn body. But I like Lennox, I like Evander, I like them dudes in the fight against Tyson, but I just have that high of an opinion of Mike Tyson. But he went in there, he got outlined in chalk at his apex. You dig? Fighters are
Right.
gonna
Right.
lose. Manny Pacquiao went to sleep, my nigga. Manny Pacquiao went to sleep and still found a way
Facts.
to ascend to the top five pound for pound. And it happens. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. What a nigga look like, saying I ain't watching LeBron James no more because he got more losses than he got wins in the finals. People lose, my nigga, and
Right.
when you talk, it's illogical. I'm like, y'all niggas is childish, bro. If you getting them up in the street on the street level, you eventually gonna take a L in the street, bro. The fact that you in there with a dude who's a contemporary, it's only this month. It's only a certain amount of people who can deal with you on Earth. It's acceptable for you to lose to somebody that's a contemporary of yours. You dig what I'm saying? Because we in the same profession. You can't be mad at a motherfucker if he lose. So I'm not
Facts.
mad when fighters lose. Go out there and put that shit on the wood. This is what we want to see. You get like put
Facts.
when Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Even though Lomachenko lost that fight on the cards, he won. The moral victory. He won, but in the hearts of the fans, they booed the
Absolutely.
shit. They booed the shit out of Devin Haney. It's nothing wrong with it is what it is. Fighters lose, nigga. Fighters lose. It.
Absolutely.
God damn, I can't stand these niggas.
Man, for real. What you think about Boots versus Badger Ball, man? I think that's career suicide for Badger Ball.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I might like Madrimov in that fight.
Bud beat him, and then Virgil. No, Virgil was putting
When
some
you look at it
pain
like that,
on
yeah.
Madrimov in that last fight. I wouldn't even want
Hmm.
to see Boots fight Madrimov, honestly, after those two fighting him. You know what I mean?
I
I wouldn't even
would
want to see
because
that.
Boots is still showing that he's vulnerable for dudes who can pivot. He's still
Then,
vulnerable to that.
then this is another thing too. Both of them, both Eddie Hearn guys. I don't even think Eddie Hearn would even let that happen either. Myself, for real, unless he just want to get Madrimov cooked.
I don't think he gonna cook Madrimov, bro. Oh shit. I don't think he's gonna cook Madrimov, bro. I think, man, I might have to edge Madrimov because Boots is still showing that he's vulnerable to dudes who can pivot. They can spin you. He's still
One,
showing vulnerability.
this one thing
What?
too that caught my eye. What Boo said in his interview with YSL Media the other day, where he said like at 147, he said he felt like he was fighting at 100. I mean, he's fighting at 30-40%. Fighting at
Mm-hmm.
147 these last couple of fights. You know what I'm saying? He felt like him moving up to 154, he'll be at 100% there, as far as the weight and everything.
Possibility. I think he'll be better at 54 and 60. I do. Oh, dang, man. Wifey got at you like that.
That's cap as hell.
But
Said,
nah,
my boy D1, he said Stanionis was a test until Boots destroyed him. Now Boots ain't fought competition. That's what's wrong with boxing. Stanionis is an elite pressure fighter.
an elite pressure for dude. No, 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 no. No. He's a good pressure fighter. Brian Norman is a better pressure fighter than Stanionis. Easy. Kavliasquez, I think, is a better pressure fighter. Yeah, Kavliasquez is a better pressure fighter. I mean, Bam Rodriguez is a better pressure fighter. Like these is when you talk about elite pressure fighter, Canelo's an elite pressure fighter. Artur Beterbiev is a pressure fighter. Those are elite pressure fighters, man. I think Stanionis was he's a good fighter. I think Virgil Ortiz is an elite pressure fighter. You dig? I'm just trying to run down the list. I mean, goddamn, I really don't want to say this, but I got to. Tank is an elite pressure fighter.
I mean, he is.
Keyshawn Davis is an elite pressure fighter. These is elite pressure because I mean, just if somebody is being fleet-footed and you're finding ways to circumvent their foot speed by closing distance calculatively and protecting yourself and making them miss and making them pay. That's the definition of an elite pressure fighter, man. Stanionis had no feet in that fight. He just thought he was going to tuck up behind the high guard and walking down and eventually find a shot. And when Boots was spinning him and pivoting him and everything, he had no answer for that. He couldn't spin out with him because he just doesn't have the intellect in his feet. So I think he's a good pressure fighter. I don't think he's an elite pressure fighter though. I honestly don't. I think you put Stanionis in front of Brian Norman Jr., he's getting did the same way that he got did in front of Boots.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all, brothers. I ain't mad at that at all. My brother, Ann McQueen, he said I was very impressed with how Boots handled Stanionis fight with Batov was grueling. Yet he was stood. Dude is a legitimate tough guy. Boots was just too precise on that night.
Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he
He is.
said in
Yeah,
your
he's right
box.
on that.
Nah, man. Yeah, I feel like with Boots, man. Is this man BVO? Salute to my brother BVO, man. He's a big Brian Norman fan out here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
come on,
and he's a
man.
big Boost Ennis hater, man. He hates Boost Ennis with a passion over there. He be running hate Boots content on his channel all the time. So up to my brother BVO though. He cool and
Is
all,
he from
y'all, man. He
Atlanta?
cool. Yeah, huh?
Is, is he from
He from
Atlanta?
nah, he from Cleveland, man. He from Cleveland. The
Oh,
Cleveland. I'm from Cincinnati. You feel me? The Cleveland
uh,
niggas, they look grimy up there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know what I'm saying? He like the Spanish fighters for real. He don't even like black fighters for real. He like Emiliano Vargas over Abdullah
oh.
Mason and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those type of guys.
Ooh, ooh,
He's one of those type of guys. He got Brian Norman over Boots Ennis and shit. You know what I mean? He talk about the storm coming and shit.
I would like Brian Norman's chances in front of Boots. I honestly would, bro, because he also showed me that he can get touched in an exchange, bro. Why is Karen Chukachi initiating exchanges with you and outlanding you? You dig, and out hustling you. You dig. I see a lot of glaring deficiencies in Boots' game, man. I think Brian Norman is in that fight if they fought, but you might have to you'd have to edge Boots in that fight because he can fight on the ends. He can fight at all three distances. So I'd edge Brian, not Brian, but Boots in that fight. But I like Brian Norman in that fight if there was a fight.
Yeah, man.
But
Just speaking of Brian Norman, man, we can get to talking about Brian Norman a little bit into this whole the main topic with him, man. Brian Norman, do he got what it takes to become the king of the 147-pound division?
hell yeah. Well, I'll say this: if he can deal with Rashidi Ellis, and not only because of the style clash, man, when he fought Quentin Quicks, that dude like he couldn't find a way to get behind it, get to get to bypass his straight shots, and the fight got real muddy and just sloppy. He started falling into the shots because out of desperation, man. When you can't hit a nigga that's maintaining distance, bro, you get desperate You start lunging and making all types of mistakes. You overshoot on the shot. Next thing you know, you're not even in position to land a clean and effective shot to get the proper leverage off. You're smothering yourself because you're frustrated. Now when you holding it, it was just a lot of that, man. If he could find a way to beat a Rashidi Ellis, oh yeah. You run it, yeah. You because that I think that's gonna be his only problem in the division is a Rashidi Ellis. That's gonna be his only problem. So I do think he has the potential to run the division, but he got to show me that he can be a fighter like Rashidi Ellis, someone who can punch on the go, someone who's mobile in there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
right now, I was listening to Brian Norman Sr. on Broadway Joel last night, man.
hmm
They had an interview where it got a little wild a little bit, man. People
oh
in the
word,
comments was going crazy on him a little bit about about boots and shit, but in particular for real. So yeah, he was saying pretty much the next fight that they're looking for possibly is either Polanco or Rashidi Ellis. And
mm.
Rashidi Ellis just fought last night. Like he just fought
For
last
real,
night. Yeah, I don't remember, I can't remember the guy's name, but I watched it on Mill City. Mill City was there to watch the fight, and he posted on his channel. He got a third round knockout off of a body shot last night. You know what I mean,
Rashidi.
he definitely looked. Yeah, he looked solid. Like I wasn't too crazy for real, but you know what I'm saying. No, he's in position possibly to fight Brian Norman Jr. next, possibly along with Rohan Polanco as well. You know what I mean. So those are the two fights that possibly would be next for Brian Norman Jr. Now I'm gonna say this. Let me be 100, man. I want Brian Norman Jr. to fight Devin Haney. That's the fight I want.
You want to see a body? That's what you want to see.
I want Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. Devin Haney made the tweet saying that he was ass. He was at Japan at the fight. You feel me? Like, and then the man say after the fight he might not be ass after he see Brian Norman Jr. fucking flatline Jen Sasaki. Jen Sasaki said he don't even remember what
6 weeks.
happened 6 months ago after this fight. That shit crazy. That shit crazy.
Knocked amnesia into that dude, bro.
Yeah, that shit crazy. That's great. Let me read this real quick. My boy D1 said, "Are you kidding me? Brian isn't a pressure fighter, buddy. You don't know what you're talking about a welterweight. He is elite as it gets. You don't compare welterweights to anyway, but welterweights.
Who is he talking to?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Now,
Yeah, I hope he ain't talking to me.
he said, BVO said he fought a guy from Little Caesars. Who was you talking about, BVO? And then,
uh,
wife, you salute to Mrs. KJ, the beautiful Mrs. KJ. She said, that's the
uh,
setup, babe. Devin is going night night. I want to
talk
see
to
it.
him,
Put
Miss
the fight
Cam.
on.
Talk
I
to him,
want to
Miss
see
Cam.
it. I want to see it. Devin, who he gonna fight right now? What he got going?
Bro,
This man,
bro.
Bill Haney, was at the whole Richardson Hitchens whole fight week last week. The man's still in New York right now, talking about he's looking for Teofimo Lopez. Like, who the fuck is that Devin gonna fight now?
Man, I don't know. He better stay the fuck away from Brian Norman, Brody. You can't, okay, he got cheated against Ryan Garcia. We get that, definitely. Nobody is exonerating what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. As far as him popping dirty in that fight, but my nigga, you can't get out of the way of a left hook from a flat-footed Ryan Garcia. What you think a dude bigger than Ryan Garcia, who's a lot more technically proficient than Ryan Garcia, who punches significantly harder than Ryan Garcia is gonna do to you? And I'm gonna be real, bro. If I never saw Devin Haney fight again, it'd be too soon. I'm cool on Devin Haney. I'm good. I'm
My
good.
boy Big Dre say Devin will be looking like dude on your thumbnail. But lie, you heard? The round one says salute to round one. Everybody go subscribe to round one too, man. He do some great content over
Definitely.
there too, man. He said he want to see Tom and Jerry fights because we know Dev ain't gonna throw, just move. And then
Uh,
now my boy D1 was talking to you. He said on the right side, he said he tried to discredit Steve's and compare pressure fighters from different weight classes. You don't know what you're talking about.
it's always one motherfucker in their feelings, man. You trying to tell me Stanionis is an elite pressure fighter based on what? Him just coming forward. Butayev was a good win for him. Yeah, that was a good win. But what the fuck? Butayev fighting on Pro Box. Like, what's we doing? Like, let's stop playing games, man. You know, there's no bells and whistles that comes with Stanionis' pressure. It's no bells and whistles that comes with his pressure. He's gonna tuck up behind the high guard. He's gonna march forward, occasionally counter. Brian Norman is a way more effective counterpuncher than a Stanionis. He's better on his feet, and he's doing it against better opposition. You dig? And before Virgil Ortiz was a pressure fighter at 154 pounds, he was a pressure fighter at 147 pounds. When he went there, he stepped on McKinson, a dude who's fleet-footed, who had the same exact style as someone like a Karen Chukatian. He stopped that nigga, if I'm not mistaken, mid-ring with a body shot because of the pressure. Stanionis is not on the level of them dudes as far as pressure fighting is concerned. He's a good pressure fighter. He's not no fucking elite pressure fighter, my nigga. You know that. He's not an elite pressure fighter. Stop playing. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
so, hold on, look at this. Hold on, I gotta see it. Hold on, this man. All right, so this man BVO says Bill lives in New York now. Okay. then he says, then he says Ryan was on drugs.
he
okay.
he was.
Okay, yeah,
He
he
definitely was.
was, but a little bit of mouth that don't give a fuck about for real necessarily. So, and then Big Dre said Devin need to get his mind right before he get back in the ring.
Yeah, he does.
For sure, I'm definitely with that for sure.
He does.
And my boy D1, he said, I don't have time to get into it, so keep popping your shit. Y'all have a good one. Salute to my
hmm
brother D1, man.
hmm
My brother, Angry White Man Boxing Podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe to my family over there, man. Definitely great
Yeah,
content over there.
have a good one, angry
Uh,
man.
and then BVO right here talking about niggas love to hate black Jesus. This man
he
BVO
trolling.
calls Devin Haney Black Jesus. You see the bullshit right here in this?
Yo,
This right here, BVO. This is the shit I'm talking about right here. This is you the reason why Devin Haney getting his ass whooped out here. You the reason why he fucking got a whole running rule dictated towards him
oh,
right now. You are the absolute reason why.
mm.
Gassing this man up, calling Devin Haney fucking Black Jesus, bro.
Oh, that's
Black
filthy.
Jesus. This is the shit
Oh,
I'm talking about right here. Like
that's
this is why
filthy.
this is why Devin Haney has PTSD right now. You are the reason why. Fans like you and Devin Haney don't got his best interest, man. Y'all
Y'all
don't.
don't.
I'm really convinced. Y'all don't have his best interest hyping his fucking head up, calling him Black Jesus.
Mm. He could
Like,
never.
come on, bro.
He could
Like,
never. He
we
could
we gotta
never.
draw a line here some fucking where. Like some fucking where. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Says
That's
Dad
filthy.
Queen Boss, he said, why don't he wait for Barrios? Hey, man, I would love to see Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios. Now,
We
the
know
thing
why.
is, I right now, to me, right now, I ain't gonna lie, it looked like Rolly, since he's about to end up being elevated to 147 champion for the WBA. It looked like Rolly kind of waiting around for that fight, for like the winner of that fight, Barrios and Pac-Man. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Even though Pac-Man's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not faithful in this fight with
Me
Pacquiao and
neither.
Barrios, bro. Like, this
Me
shit
neither.
shouldn't even be happening for
It
real.
shouldn't.
Like
Mm-mm.
it shouldn't be happening. You know what I'm saying? My boy round one said Devin versus T.O. might as well happen because this is a fight way long overdue.
Definitely.
Now the thing is, going back to it, T.O. You know what I'm saying? He said that Turkey was trying to, give him half of the money that what he was supposed to get, and he wasn't willing to fight Devin. Pretty much saying that Devin value is low to where motherfucker ain't trying to pay him the bag for the pay him that that 11 milli reported. You know what I'm saying? To
Hmm.
fight Devin. You know what I mean? But same time, that man Turkey was gonna give him the 11 million to fight Keyshawn, and T.O. didn't want to do that. He
Yeah.
was waiting to try to fight Boots.
Mm-hmm. He
But Boots
wasn't
didn't
fighting
want to
Boots.
fight him.
He wasn't. That was a pump fake, bro. That was a that man. He wasn't going up to no 147 to fight no Boots. Wasn't happening. That shit was not
I'm
happening.
with you. I don't believe it either for real. That's my opinion, bro.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
wasn't going
believe
up
it
there to
either.
fight no
I wasn't
Boots.
confident in it for real myself, for real. I would
Mm-mm.
love if Devin and T.O. if they did get the scrap going, but I just don't see it happening, bro. Like it looked like Bill Haney and them looking to try to fight Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's the main
God,
fight they looking
no,
like. That's the main
no.
fight it look like the Haney's looking to get is trying to fight Africa.
Mm-mm. I'm not watching that shit. I'm not watching that shit, bro. And I'm gonna be real. A couple, just if Devin, I think Devin ain't the right man to even fight somebody like a Teofimo. I hate Teofimo Lopez, bro. The amount of punishment I want this dude to go through at the hands of a black man, Devin Haney
Right.
is ill-equipped to do that to that
He
man.
ain't the man for the
He's
job.
not the man for the job, bro. He's not. I need at 140. I need Keyshawn to go in there and do his due diligence. Somebody like that. Somebody who's punching with authority. I'd even take Subriel Matias as a black Boricua. Go do that and shit. He all the shit that he said about the Puerto Ricans. Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
I
handle
love
that.
to see him fight Matias for sure. I
Yes,
love to see that.
give me that. Give me Gary Antoine Russell in there with Teofimo, man. So that I need somebody who's who's thumping to go in there and get this man a brain bleed or something. I need something detrimental to happen to this dude, bro, because you're just too disrespectful. Then Devin Haney is not the man for the job. All the moonwalking you was doing nah, bro, nah. And you that gunshot in front of a Jose Ramirez?
Man, you hear me? You hear me? Versus
Mm-mm.
Jose. Jose was horrible, bro. And he just got smacked up by Barbosa before that.
Smacked
Like,
on,
bro,
smacked
I was
on.
like, bro, like you up here, Ace. Barbosa was in the pocket banging with him. Like, Devin
Mm-hmm.
ain't want no type of smoke, bro. He was on this boxing track star shit, man. And you seeing Turkey making it. He trying to put his foot down. He said ain't no room for that shit. I ain't about to
Mm-hmm.
keep paying you motherfuckers if y'all ain't gonna come and entertain the fans. And I like in that aspect, I'm with Turkey on that shit. Now
Me
I don't
too.
care for him trying to tell like far as like telling the fighters how they gonna fight and shit. Like the fighters gonna fight, they fight. You know what I mean? At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. But at the same time, I'm with him as far as like he's spending his money on this shit where he like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I want to see entertaining fights, but the thing is, it's the matchmaker, Turkey. Shit, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to fuck, if you know this guy gonna be on some running shit, don't book him. Let somebody
Mm-hmm.
else book him. That's
Mm-hmm.
my thing. Like, don't fuck with him. Like, that's just the thing.
And even to
Like,
that point, bro, even to that point, I think people is getting it fucked up. Like, I don't know if you know Art Man.
oh
You gotta
yeah,
know.
he man, bro, I don't fuck with dude.
No,
I
that's
don't
my
fuck with dude. He
that's
corny as hell. I don't fuck with dude, bro. I'll
no,
tell you
that's the
that right
homie.
now. He one of the most emotional Devin Haney fans I've seen in my life. He the problem too. He the problem
He
too. Why
is.
Devin Haney got PTSD too. He one of the reasons too. The left
He
hook
is.
for sure. You know what I mean? The left hook for sure, but in particular. But these fans are some of they're the reason too. Like an
They
art
are.
man is definitely one of them ones. Like
He
and the
definitely
crazy
is.
part, it's so boggling to me that a lot of these Devin Haney fans, some of them they are Earl Spence fans, and
Yeah,
Devin Haney don't even fight like Earl.
at
So
all.
like, you know what I mean? They ain't even the same type of nigga for real, bro. Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? They don't even move the same way.
They
I don't even
don't.
understand why some of them are Earl Spence fans. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just feel like Bill Haney got these guys' minds poisoned with just lies and bullshit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see the lies and bullshit every day, all day from Bill
Mm-hmm.
Haney, bro. Like, and
You
he
do.
over here going crazy on the internet from podcast to podcast and shit, trying to promote Devin and shit, trying to talk about his hit list and all this shit, knowing 90% of that list, he ain't gonna fight none of the motherfuckers.
Exactly. And I don't want to see him fight 90% of them motherfuckers. I don't want it, man. I don't if I never see Devin Haney again, it will be too soon. That's how I feel
Like
about
this shit
homie.
right here.
Black Jesus
Black
was
Jesus
undisputed.
was undisputed. Nobody don't give a fuck about that no more, bro. Being real, bro. Like that, y'all can't forget. This is a what have you done for me lately business. No one give a fuck about what he did at 135. When is Devin gonna fight at 147? He up here trying to fight T.O. at a catch weight and shit. Like he want to fight
Hmm.
niggas at catch weights. And he was giving Tank flack for fighting Ryan Garcia at catch weight. Now he want to fight
That
all
is
his
true.
fights at catch weights now.
That is true. That is
Motherfucker
true.
fighting at light welterweight and shit.
Because the
He done
thing
made up his
is,
own division out this bitch. He fighting at light welterweight out this motherfucker.
because if he jumps up to a full 147, you in there with Brian Norman Jr. now, bro. He's not in no rush to go fight that dude. I
He
don't
trying
fuck
to pull
what,
Africa up from 140 to 147.
and I don't even want to see that fight. I don't want to see that fight, dog. I
I
don't want
don't
to see
want to
that
see it
fight.
either. I don't want to see it either. I like Africa, but I don't want to see that fight at all. Africa versus Devin. I'm not a fan of that fight.
Mm.
Not one fucking bit. For sure.
At all, man, at all. Like, cause I don't want niggas to get it fucked up, man. Africa, him doing what he did to George Cambosos, Devin Haney ain't gonna give him that many scoring opportunities, so he's gonna revert back to his natural fighting identity, which is that of a back foot fighter. And now you got two outboxers
It'll
in the
be a
ring.
boring ass
Nah,
fight,
I don't
bro.
want to see that shit, man.
It'll be a
I don't
boring
want to see
ass
it.
fight, bro. I don't want to see no chess match between them two up here trying to figure out
Mm-mm.
when they gonna hit each other. Like shit, Africa gonna be more willing. You know what I'm saying? Devin
Mm-hmm.
may not be willing. That's the thing about
He
him.
won't. He
Like
won't.
he may not be willing. He up here
Ugh.
thinking about Ryan Garcia, and I still got a problem. Why the fuck he ain't fighting Ryan Garcia in a rematch? He should be
Man,
fighting Ryan for real, for real.
Oscar wanted him to take the year off.
And Ryan ain't taking the year off. Ryan
I
said he
hope
want
not.
that fight.
Uh,
And
you hate
this,
black
see,
fire.
like this. Now we got to go into like the black father thing. I'm a black father. Why would I hate black fathers? Just because I don't fuck with Bill Haney lion capping ass, his coke headed ass?
Man, I
Like,
don't think
come
I don't man.
on.
Don't even like. I think he trolling. I think he getting under
Yeah,
your
yeah,
skin and it's
BVL's a
working.
big draw. I just want to draw the line and put it because I like what BVL's doing, so I just get to cook up on this shit just as we go on this shit. You know, what I'm saying? The whole black father shit is bullshit. The thing is, the man Bill Haney, he's a pimp, right? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? He was a former pimp, right?
hmm.
He still lives. He's
Oh,
literally
shit.
in front of our eyes, emasculating Devin Haney right now in front of our eyes, right now.
Mm,
Literally is. Like
mm.
Devin's not even his own man. He don't
Yeah,
even speak
definitely.
for himself. Devin, he's the guy that was on Twitter a few days ago saying, "Whatever my dad say is on. That's my word too. He speak for me. We know
Mm.
shit. 'Cause we don't never hear you fucking speak. You be nervous as hell when we hear you speak on the camera and everything.
Mhm.
Like we don't hear nothing from this guy. All we
Man,
hear is Bill Haney every day trying to spread his little lies and propaganda and shit, and that shit ain't working. You don't got to. The thing is, Bill Haney hates the fact that he don't have control of the media like he used to.
hmm,
He can't control the narrative anymore.
hmm.
They've been the laughing stock of boxing for over a year now.
Woo. Bro, what Gabe Rosado said to them niggas? Y'all memes, dog.
Yeah,
He called them niggas memes, and it was 150% on the money. Man, listen, man. Bill Haney, Mama Skull, Angel Garcia, Teofimo Sr., and even Kenny Porter. I'm like, y'all niggas, listen, it ain't about y'all. Y'all not the fighters, you dig? You're an accent, you dig, or you're not the main character in this movie, my dude. Let them boys be the men that y'all raised them to be. They got their own voice. They the ones that's getting in the ring and putting their life on the line. Y'all niggas is supposed to play the background. Y'all supposed to be the supporting role. Stop trying to usurp the spotlight by going on all these platforms speaking on behalf of these dudes, because y'all are a part of the problem why we don't like these niggas to begin with. That shit that
right.
Bill Haney said, what he said, Lomachenko didn't do enough to deserve the rematch. I thought Lomachenko won that fight, but you about to sit here and tell us that our eyes didn't see what we saw by he didn't do enough to deserve a rematch? Like, nah, come on, man. And
Absolutely.
that right there was really the downfall of Devin Haney's popularity and his likability in the eye of the public because you doing that sucker shit. Shut the fuck up and let them niggas speak. You sit your ass down. Like, come
Bro,
on.
that's one thing I could say out of Brian. Like Brian Norman Sr., he getting close to that status a little bit too. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? He getting because he be on some of that Bill Haney shit too. But same
Mm-hmm.
time, I think he done calmed down a little recently. And we seen Brian Norman Jr. in several interviews recently, leading up, promoting him, you know what I'm saying, promoting this fight with Sasaki and everything and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I see us calming down a little bit with them, even though Brian Norman Sr. did get wild with Broadway Joe last night. He did.
No, I'm gonna have to go look into
He
that.
got wild with him a little bit last night. It was a funny little interview. But
Hold on,
yeah,
babies.
my boy round one, he said CamJ start talking good about Dev might get on Bill payroll. Hey, that's one thing. If anybody know me over here, shit, it won't never fucking happen over here. Like, it won't never fucking happen. Like, that's a for sure fucking fact. My boy Big Dre said BVO equals cap artist troll. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he be capping. See, BVO is poisoned by the Devin Haney bullshit too.
Mm-hmm.
He
That's
poisoned by like his mind is all polluted by all Haney propaganda and all of that shit. That's why he started talking the whole black father shit. Like, oh, y'all hating on the black father, man. You only saying that because Bill said that shit. Like, y'all hating on the black father, man. I'm up here just holding down my son, bro. It's hella black fathers that's doing well for their son too, bro.
mm-hmm.
You ain't the only one, Bill.
You're
You're
not,
not the
bro.
only one.
Ugh.
Like, come on.
Go sit
Like,
down,
talk about
dude.
y'all make this a race thing. This ain't about no motherfucking race. BVO the same guy that like fucking Spanish fighters. He was rocking with Teofimo Lopez.
Mm.
He was
After the
rocking
nigga
with
shit?
Teofimo Lopez. He was a big fan of BVO, big fan of Teofimo Lopez, running hella content on TO and everything. Now he
Come
done
on,
backed away
brother.
from him a little bit now because he
Oh,
started
good.
talking a little racist shit now.
Good. 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 That's what I like to hear. Fuck that. Fuck Teofimo Lopez.
Yo,
There you
Fuck Teo.
go.
yo.
Oh,
Hold
There
on,
you
hold on,
go.
hold on.
he in the
There you go.
building.
Hold on, man. We got my nigga Cam talking crazy about black fathers and fuck black men and all this. Wow, you got
Who
niggas
said
calling
fuck
me.
black man? Bro,
That what
we
you just
talking about
said.
one specific guy.
You
You
just
you
said.
you talk about
Hold
you
on,
hate
hold on.
multiple.
We
You
together,
saying that
man.
people hate multiple black fathers around the world, bro. Bill ain't the only black father around the fucking world, BVO. Newsflash. Smell the fucking coffee, my nigga. Come
You know what
on.
got me, man? And then you read a comment where a nigga called me a troll. They've been doing this for 500 years, man. You ever heard of that COINTELPRO Pro? That's what niggas do. Whenever somebody black tell the truth, he a troll.
Tell us, what are you
That's what they
telling the
do,
truth
man.
about?
About everything I say is the truth, man.
What
You calling
talking
me a troll
about
because I'm
hate
black.
black fathers? That's the truth. That's not the
What you mean?
truth. I'm a
You
black
said
father
what?
myself. Just because I don't like Bill Haney in particular because he's a fucking
No, you
liar
West Indian
and
or some shit, ain't
capper.
you?
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't
Just
you
because
West
I don't
Indian or
like Bill
something, bro?
Haney don't mean I hate multiple black
I'm
fathers.
talking about I'm talking about foundational black Americans. You like a West Indian or something. You don't count.
Oh, we doing that?
What I'm
Yeah.
saying in general. We talking about multiple black fathers when we're only talking about one.
But I'll say
But
this though, man. I'm gonna say this real quick out of love, man. I know we don't like what the black fathers do, but one thing I've learned, and I say this because I know Cam got a chance to do something special. We gotta watch out. We talk about niggas because niggas are watching, and I don't know about y'all. I want to talk to the person, then talk about a nigga. So it sound
Bring
good.
him up here.
Call, it sound good to call niggas Mama Schofield and all that bullshit, but these are niggas trying to make some money, man. Just that simple, bro. These niggas trying to
Ain't
make some
nothing
money.
wrong
man,
with that though. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We just saying the approach you taking to get
the
that show, my nigga. It
approach.
ain't about you. You
Nigga,
dig? Like, you know,
there ain't no book on this.
it is.
Let me just say this real quick and I'm done. The threshold to be a good boxer is you don't gotta have no education, you don't gotta have nothing. So you talking about niggas literally from the streets. Ain't nobody that went to school, no damn boxer, bro.
It's still integrity.
It's a
It's
hard
integrity in the
profession.
streets. It's integrity in the streets, my nigga. And you just
When?
gotta know
When?
it's integrity in the
All
street.
these
It definitely
rats?
is.
Man, all these
Where,
rats.
You
My
telling me
dad
where,
100%?
beat
where,
two
hold on,
niggas
hold
in
on,
the
We
hold
finna
on,
face
hold
because
on,
divulge
these
into
BVO.
rats.
something else.
Hold on,
We
BVO.
finna
I
Look,
said
divulge.
think it's
I
integrity.
got something for
We
you right
finna
here.
divulge into something else.
I got something for
That
you right here, BVO. So where's the integrity in Devin Haney far as them dropping a lawsuit in the fight with Ryan Garcia? What's the integrity in that?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a simple question. If that was your
I
son,
answer you a question first,
hold on, hold
BVO.
on,
You
hold
got to
on.
answer
I answered the
mine
question.
before I answer
I answered your
yours.
question.
Answer mine. Answer
I
mine. We're
already
not doing
said,
that, BVO.
you my brother
You
and I
know,
love
I'm
you. I
not.
already said that.
This ain't that. Answer the
I already said
question.
that. I just said that. I said, you my brother and I love you. I just said that.
So that's your
I just said
answer.
that.
That's your
Yes, you my
answer.
brother and I love you.
Okay, we're done with this conversation.
All I can say is this.
yeah.
We're done. I'm not doing this with you today. I'm not
I
doing this
wanted to
with
hear
you
what he
today.
had to say. I wanted to hear what he had to say.
I'm not doing this with you today. Cause you bullshitting. You bullshitting
uh,
around with me today, BVO. I love you too, brother. I love you. Cleveland, brother, and all of that. Ohio up, all of that. I love you. But we're
shout
not
out to
doing that
Ohio.
today. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm
I
saying? Here we go. Thank you, sis. Where is the integrity in posting another black man mugshot?
Who did that?
Bill Haney. Bill Haney did that with Tank Davis.
Mm,
Where's the integrity in that? Ain't no integrity in that.
mm.
I thought Bill supposed to be from the streets. Why he posting
Nigga,
niggas mugshots and shit? Where's
yeah,
the
that's some Buster
integrity in
shit.
that? You know what I mean? We talking about black fathers and shit. You know what I mean? This man, Bill Haney, just was talking bad on Tank. Tank called him a cokehead, and then he called Tank a crack baby. Come on. Like, I mean,
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I dig what Bill is. I get the intent. It's a beautiful thing. Man, we the face of broken households. Even though we're not the only ones relegated to broken households and fatherless households. We are the visual representation of that due to mass media or whatever, and just through policies being passed that would put us in that type of position. So it's a beautiful thing when you have these black daddies being a part of their sons' lives. But at some point, you got to learn that you your own man. When you get out of your daddy's household, and when you're in a position to where you're employing him, that man is officially his own man. So if you let him dictate his career. If niggas don't fuck with your son, you let that be on account of your son, not you throwing fucking gasoline on the fire. You dig what I'm saying? Bill Haney, all the lawsuit. You don't sue no nigga for assault and battery after you got crashed, bro. I don't give a fuck if it was trying to you was trying to garner a fight, so they can't get out of the rematch or whatever. All that shit sound good. Sue that nigga for something else. You dig what I'm saying? And let's talk about black fathers. You got Abdullah Mason's daddy right there. That nigga stay out the way. I'm gonna train you, and I'm not.
absolutely.
I'm not gonna be obnoxious and belligerent, getting on all these fucking platforms and running your name and your reputation in the mud because you are the focal point of all of this, not me. You dig? A lot of people,
Absolutely.
a lot of the vitriol that's coming the Devin Haney's way is vicariously through Bill Haney. Fall the fuck back, my nigga. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
Right. Right.
God
BVO, you can
damn.
come on and say that shit again, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can come on, BVO. I just want jacking what you were saying, bro, because I'm trying to ask you a question that you want to play around and not answer my question. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit I'm just saying. It's a time when we play around and shit. When I'm asking you a valid question and you ain't want to answer my question, you want to run and duck my question like Devin Haney was doing against Jose Ramirez. You know what I mean? Like, we not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like we not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like that's not what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Shout out to sis out here. He said, and that's Cato because they filed the lawsuit before they even started calling for that rematch and still
Mm.
ain't do it. So you know it's cat. Ryan number 10 on that damn fake ass hit list too.
I
Facts.
I was trying to give Younger the benefit of the doubt, man. Damn.
Oh, sip cook up. Jazz Queen Boxing, one of the best in the business on the boxing top, far as the women for sure. Like,
Oh, right on. I
yeah,
had to go check
Mrs.
Shorty out,
CamJ
man.
Network. She said, "I get BBO saying support our community, but supporting your community doesn't mean you have to agree with them. Everyone can respect and support each other without liking that person. Absolutely, absolutely. It's that simple.
It's
It's
not
really
hard,
that
man.
simple." Like, it's really that simple for sure. You know what I'm saying? And she says, I still can't comprehend how Bill has a hit list and he's not the fighter. Yeah, it's like the hit list was all for him just to promote, you know what I'm saying, and try to push Devin in a different light and get his fans riled up, the 75 fans that he got riled up like BVO. You know what I mean? BVO riled up over the head list, like, man, he gonna fight Tank, man. He wanna fight Shakur, man. He wanna
He,
fight motherfucking T.O. You know, he got damn Ryan Garcia, number 10 on the list. Fuck Ryan Garcia, man. He don't deserve no fight. He lost to Rolly. Fuck Ryan Garcia, man. We ain't even gotta fight Ryan no more. He lost to Rolly. Rolly handled our work already, man. That's the
oh
Devin
my
Haney fans right there.
God.
That's BVO. That's
He
BVO
wanted
right
a
there.
75.
Bill, you're
He
like,
wanted a
man, fuck
75.
Ryan Garcia, racist, he a cheating everything. You know what I mean? That man had
Oh my
oxygen in his
Lord.
tacos he was eating. You know what I mean? He said, fuck
Oh,
Ryan Garcia, man. We don't even want to fight Ryan Garcia. We want to fight Tiafimo. We want to fight
mm.
Africa. Boots left the division. Oh man, Boots ain't want no smoke with us. Oh, he went up to 154 because he didn't want to fight Devin Haney.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Brian Norman ass for real. Brian Norman can't fuck with us. He'll outprice himself if we was in negotiations and we was to fight.
Are you, man? Did he really say this or are you trolling?
Yeah, bro. This is what Devin Haney said this online on Twitter a few days ago, saying that Brian Norman would outprice himself if they was in negotiations. BVO, you a big Brian Norman Jr. guy. You know what I mean? What's up? You like Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.?
Mm,
How about that? I
mm,
want to know that. I
mm,
hope I ain't
mm,
hurt your
mm.
feelings, BVO, by cutting you off, bro. I hope you ain't. I know you ain't feeling sorry about that, bro. You better not be feeling sorry about that, man. I had to cut you off because you was bullshitting with me. I can't deal with you bullshitting with me today. That's all. It's all love, brother. I love you, BVO, brother. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
We
that.
Ohio brothers, man. You Cleveland, man. You a grimy ass Cleveland nigga, man. BVO, man. What's all good? I love you, man. There's much love here, man. It's love here. It's love here. You just wasn't
mm,
showing me no love because you was ducking my question. You trying to play with me, man. I'm not much in the playing mood with BVO today a little bit. I love you though,
mm.
BVO. I love you, brother. It's all love. This is a
Shout out to
safe space
Ohio.
for you. This is a safe space for you. Oh. You know what I mean? It won't be safe if you bullshitting around though. I will let you know that though. It will not be safe. BVO, it's
mm.
all good, brother. I love you. I love you, brother. You know what I mean? But do you like Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.?
You talking to me or BVO?
That, I'm talking about everybody. What y'all like? Do everybody like Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.? Y'all like that fight?
Man, I like it because the style matchup, the style clash. But like I said, bro, if I never see Devin Haney fight again, it'll be too soon. I'm that disgusted with that nigga, bro. I'm cool. But if he fight Brian Norman, I'll tap into that. He fight Africa now. Brian
Man,
Norman, yeah.
that man. I like my thing is he up there said he said Brian Norman will outprice himself. Why you are? Then he said the same thing about Africa too, and I'm like, bro, why are you saying that for, bro? Like those the two fights that's looking good for you right now. Why you? It's almost like you damn near jeopardizing your own little plate right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Like, absolutely, bro. BBO, brother, it's love
Oh,
here, BBO.
they
It's
on his
love,
nose
BBO.
now, nigga. They on his nose.
BBO, I don't want you to be mad at me, brother, man. I'll call you after the show, bro, man. It's all
Yeah,
love, bro.
he might
It's
be on this
all
channel,
love,
man.
bro.
He might be on his channel running you down, bro. You got him that fucked up, nigga. You got him that
He
fucked
gonna
up.
take away my ranch and everything over there at BBO Sports TV. He go like, fuck Cam J, man. I ain't fucking with
Fuck
that
that
nigga. That
nigga.
nigga didn't cut me off. He done took me off the show and shit. He gonna take away my ranch and everything. BVO, don't take away
Oh
my ranch
shit.
over there at the channel, bruh. It's
Oh
love,
hell
brother. It's
no.
love
Shit
here,
brazy.
man. It said round
Oh,
one says I don't want to see dead fights because we might see the same shit like the last fight. Facts, facts.
we are. We definitely are.
That's the scary part. I want to see Dev get in there. I want to see like if he could get back in the form where he was at in the recent Prograde fight. That's what I was really expecting out of him in the Jose fight, but we ain't get that. I mean,
Hmm.
so I'm just hoping that last fight was a one-time thing for him. But we don't know. We ain't gonna know until you get in the ring. And right now, he's shooting down a lot of his fights. It look like, man, like that Brian Norman Jr. I like that fight. I like that fight
Hmm.
for real. Like
It's
that
a
fight
challenge for him.
fire.
It's a
I think
challenge
it'll
for
be a
him.
fire. It's a boxer versus a boxer puncher. You know
But
what I mean?
he's going to revert. I'm telling you, bro, if you gun shy in front of a dude who's a little bit more past it, and he's giving you every opportunity to counter him and you don't let your hands go, what you gonna do in front of a fresher fighter, dog, who's a way bigger dog?
Facts.
I'm cool on Devin, man. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Wash my hands with youngin. But yo, hey, I gotta get ready to peace out though, my nigga. Hey,
Go ahead, man. Go ahead,
man,
brother.
I'm coming back. Salute. I appreciate you having me on the panel. Even the people who was talking greasy about me in the comment section early on when I hopped on, it's all love. I fucks with y'all as well. I'm gonna go check
Yeah,
out y'all channels. Peace with you,
yeah,
loved
bro.
one.
Yeah, bro. Definitely, man. Appreciate you, bro, man. You already know, man. We cooking up and so, so you already can come on anytime, bro. For sure.
Definitely, man. Peace, Aki.
For sure. For sure. Let me go down, scroll down. My boy, no, the evidence said, give me back my motherfucking rich. Hey, for real, bro. I don't want BBO to be mad at me, man. Like, I know that's my dog and all, man. That's my dog. I rock with BBO. You know what I'm saying? He better not be shouty about that shit, though. Like, I say that for real. Big Dre said Devin can't tell Brian Jr. he too small. Absolutely. Definitely. Definitely. That the size is the same. I mean, and this would be Devin's first fight at 147 if he was, whatever fight he ended up taking next, if he decides to campaign at 147 finally, I mean. Like, for sure. For sure. Scroll down. My boy Amber Queen, he said if he comes out like he did versus Ramirez, if it's his opponent's responsibility to influence him to do otherwise. Absolutely, definitely, and I feel like a fight with Brian Norman Jr. I feel like that definitely will be a fight where he'll definitely, what I'm saying, try to definitely put some pressure on that man. I feel like that'll be a good test for him. Like that Africa would be like a real chess match. Like them first 2, 3 rounds would be bad probably. Because they both gonna be filling each other out, trying to figure out, what they gonna do and everything. So I'm really not interested in the Devin versus Africa fight in particular. But I would love to see him versus, Brian Norman Jr. You know what I mean? And what happened to like Devin Haney for us the whole legacy thing? Like, he used to have a lot of conversation. A lot of his fans they breed conversations off of Devin Haney having accolades and everything. And right now he ain't even challenging for those straps up there right now. I would think that he'll be trying to challenge a guy like Brian Norman for a strap. You know what I mean? Or shit, he number one at the WBC at 147. You know what I'm saying? Try to fight, see what's up with Barrios after, he fights Pacquiao possibly. You know what I mean? That would be a thing for as my opinion on that in particular. Salute me. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, my boy Mills. Yeah, Mills. That's my dog, man. I seen Mills. I fuck with Mills on Facebook. Like, what I'm saying, I seen him, fucking around talking a lot of boxing and shit. So I just, reached out to him see if he wanted to come on because I know he been wanting to come on a few times and shit. And he ain't been able to. So definitely reached out to him, man. Mills was cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's all boxing talk, even if we agree to disagree on some things. You know what I mean? It's all cool. We all talking like we at the barbershop. You know what I mean? It's all good. No dialogue. Cause you may say some shit that I disagree with, but then I may fuck around and understand where you coming from and understand your standpoint even more. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's all good dialogue, and it's always good to have good boxing and talk conversations where you ain't got to get disrespectful calling somebody out their name and everything. Like I'm not for all of that. I just want to have some good boxing talk with everybody as much as possible. You know what I mean? And have good dialogue. You know what I mean? Because this is fun at the day. This is all fun. You know what I mean? Fun. The content's supposed to be fun. You don't want the content to feel like it's a job. You know what I mean? You want it to be fun. I mean, definitely salute for sure. For sure. I'll read some more. See. Yeah, you said how's Devin #1 after his last performance? They put him #1 because from the WBC from when he had the title 140, they just jumped him to #1 in the stand in the rankings right there from there from the WBC, moving up from 140 to 147. That's basically like a champ because he was champion in recess for 140. So that's how that happened. And that's what makes a show entertaining. Everyone having different opinions and views. It's boring when everyone agrees. If y'all could only hear me, his conversations and debates, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, man. All right, man. This has been a good one, man. And salute to everybody, man, that came through today, man, for sure, man. And let me look at this. What she said? She said, "Bullshit. Ain't no way. Ain't no way he fought one time at 147." Facts. Yeah, yeah. They just pushed him up there to 140, 147 up in the #1 ranking just due to the fact that he was champion at 140. I mean, that's what happened with that, sis, man. Like. And salute to my sister Jan Queen Boxing, man. Always showing me love and support, man. For real. Like I appreciate you always, sis. Salute to Marshawn West today. Salute to No Evidence. Salute to All Things. You know what I mean? Salute to Round 1 in the chat today, man, for sure. Salute to Ant McQueen. You know what I mean? Man, great show today, man. Salute to all of y'all, man, today, man. And remember, we live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's our day that we live every Wednesday. I do let everybody know when I do go live, like on random little days and shit, where I always pop in on some days where I was like, man, I gotta cook up or something and just go live and just build with everybody and everything. But for sure, we live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm definitely gonna run another roundtable show. I want to get more people on there, on the on the next show. As far as like the roundtable show, you know what I'm saying? I want to get everybody's opinions and build with everybody and stuff. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all subscribe to Jag Queen Boxing for sure. Subscribe to my dog Ann McQueen and Thomas Hill, the Casuals Corner. You know what I mean? For sure. And subscribe to my boy D1 and William Old School Angry White Man Boxing Podcast. And subscribe to Two Cents Boxing. I don't know if she going live today. I know she go live on Sundays and stuff. I mean, so subscribe to Two Cents Boxing. I know she wasn't in the chat today. And so make sure y'all, just tap in, subscribe to the channel if y'all subscribe, like and comment if y'all watch this on the replay for sure. This was an amazing show. I appreciate all of y'all, man. And we are out of here.